everybody, my name is Alexander Kazina, and I want to welcome all to an extra special episode of Press YYZ, your favorite Canadian gaming podcast. No, your favorite Canadian gaming podcast.
Can we copyright that?
Show. You know what? We might actually be able to. We should look into that. You can watch the show weekly on youtube.com/PressYYZ, live on twitch.tv/PressYYZ, Wednesdays at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or you can listen to it on your own time on your podcast service of choice. We appreciate however it is you choose to support the show, but if you don't have any loonies or toonies to toss our way, we will be here no matter what. Before we get started, remember, as always, to be good to each other. Discrimination of any kind, be it over one's race, gender, sexual orientation, or anything else, will not be tolerated within our community. Tonight, I have a full-studded cast of beautiful characters here to have one romptious romp with me tonight. I am joined by the one and only Alex Ballant.
I'm proud to be a Canadian gamer.
The head of HR, Nathan McInerney.
Ahoy hoy.
Mr. Mitch George, the one and only.
I am okay with that.
Okay. Time Zero, the hero of time.
So does this mean we get to say I just game in my pants this time?
Definitely not.
You
Do
can
not
say-
start saying that.
You can say whatever you
I
want.
think we might have to.
How do we include girthy in that at the same time?
Oh, it's a girthy game in my pants.
And finally, last but not least, a very special extra tubular guest, Mr. Alex O'Neill. Hello, Alex. Nice to have you today.
Hi, hello. I'm here. I was going to say something about gaming, but I chose not to.
Probably a
ruin
good
that
call
for you?
when it comes to this podcast, yeah.
Yeah.
Alex,
I was like, we should probably ask the head of HR on that, and because apparently everyone has very nice titles. And then he was like, girth. I was like, all right, I think we know where we
It's a
stand.
running gag, and I hate it, so they keep it going. It's fine.
now before I
Yep.
get into anything, I just realized I called out your name, Alex O'Neill, because I wanted to ask you about who you are and what you do. But I realized as I was saying that it could get a little bit confusing, considering that there are literally 4 other Alexes on this podcast. Now, mind you, they always call me Cozy. They always call AJ. But we always naturally call Alex Ballant Alex. So, is it okay?
Alexo.
Yeah, just call me Alex.
Alexa.
Or we
Okay,
just call
I was
Alex
gonna-
Allen.
Like that's like your
Allen.
supervillain name, Alexa.
That's like if I was some kind of AI companion, that is the word that you would say to activate me.
I
Or
guess so.
what is your nobody name?
I've gone that route. We don't have to talk about that. It's always like it just ends up being like Axel, but with 2 X's there. It's like he's just too cool. I just go. Can I just be him?
I mean, yeah.
What's my nobody name?
Zen.
I'll get back to you. We'll find out when you're Norded. Don't worry.
Xantax.
Xanath.
All right. Alexo,
Xantax.
because that's what we all decided we're going to be calling you this evening. Who are you
Xantax.
and what do you do? Say somebody listens to, they get on the bus in the city and they happen to hear Press YYZ being, burst through a boombox that somebody is randomly playing at full volume, and they don't just have any conception of who you are. Who are you, and just
If
how do you
anyone is
describe
doing
yourself?
that right now, I want to apologize on the behalf of the person that's making your ears bleed by having to listen to us at full volume.
Yeah, but first off, let's talk about what a great marketing campaign. I mean,
was
you
gonna
really
say.
getting your name out there with that kind of thing.
Let's just stand outside of people's windows with boomboxes over our heads, like the end of that one movie.
The streets of Toronto are going
that's how we-
crazy for boomboxes.
how we profess our love.
Hell yeah.
It's 1994 again, and we're here with boomboxes. Only they play podcasts. My name is Alex. Hi, hello. I talk about video games. I've been doing it for a long time, so people seem to have started to pay attention to it. So, I host a podcast called Irrational Passions Podcast, and I'm also a privy to many other things over on irrationalpassions.com. And it's not just me. Just to be clear, I never say this enough. Like, I do like the least amount of work there, so I'm just the loud one that talks a lot. So I would very much appreciate it. We do a lot of stuff on YouTube. We stream every week on Twitch. The usual. It's a bunch of dudes. You guys get it.
Cool.
As our resident loud one, I appreciate someone else, feeling out that same kind of, niche within their group.
Yeah, I was just the first one, so I had to be loudest for longest. But it started in July 2010, so we've been going for a hot minute, and I'm pretty proud of that. I think we've got a good group of folks: Mike, Quinn, Jarrett, Scott, and then on the podcast, Scott Cuthier and Tony Horvath with me as well. So it's a good group of folks, and we've had a lot of folks come through, and probably more folks in the future, and. I think we do cool stuff. It's not about news. It's more about like actually talking about our feelings. That is more my jam. So that is what you're going to find on that site. So
I will say
awesome.
You're very humble in your description, but I have checked out your website from time to time, and you've got some pretty great ass articles there, and a really real great graphic design for the overall layout of your website as well. So
yeah,
kudos to you in that regard.
I'm very I'd rather be humble than anything else, right? But it is just a very good WordPress format theme there. But that's always been an important thing to me. Like I've wanted it to look a certain way, and I've always kept the website in my mind, as opposed to I feel like a lot of more modern folks just have a YouTube channel or they just have a Twitch page, and that makes sense. This is just some kind of stuck in the old ways thing for me, and it's important to me.
God, I feel so called out.
It just means we're bonding. We're quietly bonding while I'm just talking, because that's fairly how it works.
Exactly. No, we've been parked on domains basically since this whole thing started over a year ago, and have done nothing with them to this point. So we really do.
Yeah, but
that's something I want to take lead on at some point and get that all off the ground. So it's good to hear that there's still people out there fighting a good fight when it comes to proper web design.
Do you think that before we get the website set up properly, we could just have the domain redirect to something else? I'm pretty sure I created a website at one point.
I should look into that.
peepersandpoopers.com, and it's just a picture of a gun pointed at a toilet or something.
Nice.
That sounds awful.
You just have it redirect to all of your ad links that you say on your streams.
I should probably do that.
I created a website in high school. We did this thing where each of the graduating classes had to set up a booth and sell food products, and our booth was selling chicken wings, and I set up this website for our chicken wing company, and it was a bunch of chicken wings that drop down. It's all animated in Flash or whatever. I'm pretty sure that's still up somewhere. If we can link to that, I'd be all down for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's how IPP started. It was ippodcast.net was the original website, and I started in high school, and it was fucking trash.
All right.
The fact you said you started that in high school and I started university in 2010 makes me feel old as balls.
Hey, man, that's how I usually feel. I was just doing a podcast with a bunch of kids, and I was like, Jesus Christ. So,
I mean, that's how I don't know about you, Nathan. That's how I feel doing this every week.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Just a quick bit of housekeeping. YYZ's videos review of Ratatouille will be going up on YouTube this upcoming Friday. Go check it out. A special guest may have appeared on that podcast as well. Who is it? You'll have to tune in to find out. Without further ado, let's get into what we've been up to this week. I want to start off with a topic that, for once, I think pretty much everybody here at the table will have something to say about, which is the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's been a little while since we've talked about Marvel's ongoing streaming shows. Way back when we talked about WandaVision while it was midway through the season or so. I think it was episode 5 or 6. Yeah,
it was closer to the end, I think, but yeah.
So I've been meaning to kind of give ourselves a opportunity to gush about Marvel streaming content again, and I figure what a better time than right now before the finale. Mitch, I feel we've been a little bit unfair towards you, making you feel old for the past 5 or so minutes.
I'm doing it to myself. It's fine.
We'll give you an opportunity to give yourself a self pick-me-up and gush a little bit.
Falcon and Winter Soldier is so goddamn good. I'm so happy this is a thing. I actually think I might like it more than WandaVision, to be honest. I think some of the themes and some of the topics that they're approaching is something that we haven't really seen popular media do up to this point. Marvel's definitely shied away from a lot of the racial tension in the US and what it really means to symbolize being Captain America as a black man, with Steve having given Sam the shield at the end of Avengers Endgame. I love what they're doing. That movie came out, what, 2 years ago?
I'm just saying, maybe people don't know that.
If they don't, then they shouldn't be listening to us talk about Falcon and the Winter Soldier. It's really good. I'm really happy. I'm so disappointed that we have to wait until June for the next Marvel series, which is Loki. But we've got the Bad Batch in between, so there's still some Disney Plus content to consume. And honestly, for me, I've said this before and I'll say it again, Disney Plus is my most used streaming service because I fall asleep watching Marvel movies every night, or we'll throw on something with a Disney princess or something. I mean, we're not really watching Pixar because we're saving those watches for Pixar in Review on YYZ Video, which you can check out every other week at youtube.com/Press YYZ. But I'm so happy that this is a thing. So happy.
Yeah, I echo a lot of what you're saying, and you make a good point about this show tackling themes and subject matter that we rarely see Marvel or Disney or most of the major film distributors really tackle. Like, we have seen films in the past from Marvel and Disney, broach these sorts of topics of discussion, but not in a way that is so like overt and straight and to the point in the way that this show has, especially with the most recent penultimate episode of this show. And
we're going to avoid spoilers because Alex hasn't seen it yet.
Yeah,
Alex Ballant. God damn, this is going to be.
Well, I'm Alexo, so don't worry about it. Yeah, I got it.
Right. Yeah, sorry. I forgot we had Alexo here with us today.
Yeah.
Is that the brother?
Confusing.
The brother from Assassin's Creed?
Kind of. It sounds like
Alexio. Yeah, it's Alexio.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Just curious, Alex, are you like just an episode behind us? Are you a little bit more than that?
Yeah, I just haven't watched the most recent one that has debuted.
Okay.
Watch it.
I'm planning on it. Don't worry. So you mentioned that you think you might like it more than WandaVision, and I started off a little, especially coming off of the high that was the entire run of what the fuck is going on in WandaVision. I started off a little, it's like we're back to reality. Oh, there goes gravity, that sort of thing. But
lose yourself, all that jazz.
Yeah, all that stuff. For me personally, as relevant as it is to reality and recent events and whatnot, I still feel like I'm connecting more with WandaVision as somebody who does deal with a good bout of depression, just emotionally and whatnot. And so seeing grief realized in such a way, I just connect with that a little bit more. But that doesn't mean that I'm not enjoying the hell out of Falcon and the Winter Soldier all of a sudden. For sure.
I've been on this weird ride with it where up until the last episode, I have, like, it's been okay, but it's not been. I was waking up like early in the morning to watch the WandaVision episodes because I didn't want to have something spoiled. And it kind of brought the feeling of like watching Lost back in the day to me, about like the mysteries that were going on and talking about everything. And I feel like that's absent in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Now, this last episode, definitely there's going to be some conversation pieces as we go into the final episode. No questions about that. But just as a series, for me, I think WandaVision hit a little bit harder just because from a TV, this felt like a longer movie and not necessarily a TV series that they spaced out. So
yeah, it does feel a lot more grounded to your guys' points. I think it's kind of nice though. It's kind of like a return to like it's comfort food. Marvel for me at this point, the MCU is comfort food, and this very much feels like that. Where WandaVision was, what the hell is going on? This is very much. I understand this. It's familiar. It's comforting, and then they're also tackling some really interesting story beats along the way. But Alexo. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt there. I was just going to say, I just even remember us in our Discord group talking about WandaVision every week. And like all that chatter just, all that chatter has kind of just disappeared. Like we don't have those conversations about the show. And I think they'll come back with Loki because Loki once again looks off the wall again. But it's those conversations I miss, and I don't know what about this show doesn't lead to those conversations where we would have them.
Honestly,
with WandaVision,
what I really do think it is, and this is what the weirdest thing about Falcon Winter Soldier is for me, because I am thoroughly enjoying a lot of it, and it feels like there's so many great elements to it. I think the character, this is the first time I feel like really get to actually know either of these characters, like both Sam Wilson or Bucky Barnes. Like, I just feel like the movies have kind of sidelined them pretty, like sidelined who they actually are as people quite a bit.
Yep.
So to get a whole like in-depth dive into like who they are is really cool. I think the cinematography is incredible. I think some of the action is awesome. But then it's like, then when you break down like the plot is kind of doesn't really, like, it feels like all the other elements and pieces are so good, and then the plot is just kind of not, it doesn't feel, I feel like there's something missing. That's like, okay, well, what actually is like the plan with like the antagonists? And it just doesn't feel like there's a lot, like when you like break down like the beats of the show, it just feels like it doesn't really make sense. But then all the other elements around it and the characters are fantastic and kind of makes up for it.
So I did feel that way towards the beginning. Then I kind of started to understand what the antagonists were really trying to do, and like the whole thing of, oh, and make the world like it was during the blip. Half of the world's population vanished, and people started to take up the space in the world that was taken up by those people. You know, people were able to thrive in a world that otherwise would have been overoccupied, and then everyone came back, and all those people who had spread out are now displaced. Yeah, and it really does an interesting job of exploring what happens after such a cataclysmic shift, both with fewer people and then everyone coming back. I think as I kind of started thinking more about it, I could sympathize a little more with the Flag Smashers, and that's kind of where I've started to really enjoy the back and forth and the plot and the way it's developed. But we've been talking a lot. Alexa, how you feeling about all this?
I feel like I'm probably easier to please when it comes to TV and movies, just in general, just because I don't really watch a lot of them at all. So the ones that I do catch, I'm more into, and I've definitely really loved the Falcon and Winter Soldier. I really loved WandaVision as well in a very different way. I think I like that this is so different than that thematically, just because I like the variety that they're kind of introducing here. But I've always also, and I've certainly learned better about myself more recently, that I've been a kind of character first storytelling perspective, and I think Falcon and Winter Soldier definitely takes that head on. It is a struggle to empathize with the Flag Smashers, especially because we only really know like 3 of them, and there's 8 of them. And the other ones just kind of walk around and look tough, which is a bummer. Which I that thought hadn't crossed my mind until this most recent episode. But I appreciate that the enemy that they're kind of fighting back against is so nebulous, and so understanding it and trying to like even get a grasp of how would you deal with this is in of itself nebulous. So I appreciate how confusing it is clearly for them to kind of go back against it. But moreover, just like the surprises I've had with the show have always been like something that Sam or Bucky says or went through, and just getting their perspective on things is really great, and leaning into just the more subtle storytelling of understanding the kind of person that Sam Wilson is just wonderful, and it's very powerful and poignant, and it's one of those other things that the MCU does great, of just like retroactively making the aspects of characters that you maybe took for granted or didn't notice as much, like the whole thing, and in a great way. And seeing Sam kind of not change at all, he's always just been his static self, but like work through whatever he's working through throughout the series has been really, really great.
Yeah, there's all these little quiet character moments, like that one line from Bucky, I think it was episode 2, the line about the Hobbit, and just like the effort they put in to be like, he said the Hobbit because the Lord of the Ring books hadn't been released yet, and it's just like that, the little the little things, the little touches Marvel adds in that just become these character moments. There's one in this episode I won't mention because Alex hasn't seen it. With Bucky, I think they've done a really good job of fleshing out his character. I think Sebastian Stan has been a standout in this entire series.
Yeah.
I don't think he makes it through the finale.
Oh,
What?
Oh.
I think this series was Bucky's swan song. I think Sebastian Stan is done after that episode.
Oh,
That's my
no.
big WTF moment. I'm going to leave it at that. Oh, Alex, also, since you haven't watched yet, and for anyone else who hasn't seen the most recent episode, warning you now, there is a post-credit scene, so do stay around for that.
Oh,
and I'm
yeah,
assuming the
there's-
finale will also have post-credit scenes in some form.
They need to
Similarly
start warning people.
WandaVision.
Yeah.
So what I always do every Friday morning, my wife and I wake up and we watch it before work because I'm a lunatic. And as soon as the episode ends, I go to the Marvel Studios subreddit, and there's a pinned post because we're on the East Coast, so everyone's already seen it like 4 or 5 hours earlier. And the first pinned comment in that post is, are there post-credit scenes or not? And I really do appreciate that. So shout out to the Marvel Studios subreddit for that.
I just fast forward a few seconds every episode and confirm.
You could do that too.
They're good people. So we may not know what fate ultimately will befall the Winter Soldier. However, we already do know the life and death, or rather hypothetical death, depending on how you play through the game, of one Cole McGrath, the hero of the Infamous series by Sucker Punch. And I bring that up because yesterday I decided, you know what? I want to do something ahead of tonight's podcast, do something that I can talk a little bit about. Recently, Alex O'Neill, I decided to assemble a list of all the PlayStation 3 and PlayStation Vita games that I want to download before the PlayStation 3 and Vita stores close later this summer.
The Great Purging of 2021, yes. Mhm.
Yes. And a game that was very high priority on my PlayStation 3 list was Infamous Festival of Blood, the standalone DLC to Infamous 2, where Cole gets bitten by a vampire and has to use his newfound vampiric powers to conquer the night and return to being a human mortal. And yeah, it was kind of a steal at only $5. And let me tell you, it was a surprisingly good-ass time. I will say, you know, there was a bit of an adjustment period coming back to this game because this is a PlayStation 3 game from, you know, ye old year of yore. But once I kind of adjusted to, you know, the way that controls felt and, you know, the slight lack of quality of life things that you would come to expect from the game of its era, I had quite the time. I would say my only two little things I'd say nagged me the most throughout my experience playing it were, frame rate wise, the game does hiccup from time to time. You know, this is a semi-open world game with lots of physics destruction-y stuff going on that can make things, you know, like I said, jolt here and there. But also the color palette for the game is not super conducive to a super coherent experience, especially again when the game is chugging a lot. This was kind of a quadruple threat of, you know, this game came out during that period of time in the Xbox 360, PlayStation 3 generation where you had a lot of games that were swimming in browns and grays and blacks in terms of their color palette. This game, on top of all that, you know, is an occult themed game. It's all based around vampires and creatures of the night. On top of that, it takes place entirely at night and or underground. And on top of that, if you recall, when you are near mortal danger in Infamous or die, the screen gradually fades to grayscale and eventually black. So it can be real tough from time to time to grab a bearing of what it is that is going on around you. But that aside, I had just a good fun time. And like all good DLC from the PlayStation 3 360 era, this game is quite short in terms of its length, in and out. I know some people don't typically like that, but I think generally you don't want your DLCs to overstay their welcome. And in that regard, the game very much pleased me. I don't know. Did anybody, just curious, who else here has played this DLC?
I've played it.
I have not.
I have not.
I haven't played the original Infamouses. I've only actually played
I
Second
should have.
Son. Yeah.
Because I love all 3 games in the series, but I just never. I think I started Festival of Blood, but never finished it because I'm bad about that. That's like my biggest gaming, you know, failure, or not failure, but my biggest gaming pet peeve of myself is that I start stuff and I don't finish it.
Got it. I thought you were about to say your biggest pet peeve is that you never finished Infamous Festival of Blood.
No, I have a really bad habit of not finishing games that I start, but I'm going to finish Halo, Alex, I promise.
Infamous Festival of Blood is a good time, but it's also like you don't have to beat yourself over the head for not having finished it.
So you reminded me off the start there when it's been 10 years since the great PSN outage, and 10 years after that they are literally on purpose outing PSN for the same console, and their make good was the original Infamous for free.
Right.
I remember
it was one of the
make goods.
Yeah.
One of the options. It's the one I chose, but I never got around to playing it, unfortunately. But I didn't play my PS3 that much. But yeah, it just all clicked in my head that, oh wow, exactly 10 years later, they're actually gonna just shut it all down.
Yeah, I was talking about the PSN outage on the podcast, the IPP we recorded last night. Just like, can you imagine if the PlayStation Network shut down for 6 months today? The world would be on fire. It would be chaos in the streets. Nerds would be killing each other.
It was like 40 days, right?
I think it was 5 months. It
was
from
long.
it was from February
was.
to summer.
Yeah.
I remember it
thought
shut
it was
down
only like a month.
It shut down the Friday after Mortal Kombat 9 and Portal 2 came out.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so it shut down.
Which I guess would have ended Steam's run on doing console based
the whole,
because they had like
Portal
a
2 on PS3.
Yeah, they had that whole, and log in with your Steam account or something like that on PS3, and you couldn't do it. So that just killed that.
It went down April 20th of 2011 and started coming back up May 14th.
Okay. I know it was like spring to summer, or of that time to summer. I don't know why I thought it was February, but yeah, that was a wild time. If that happened today, there would be no.
Oh, that would like kill PlayStation.
Yeah.
Like this is the 10-year anniversary of that happening. It was literally this week, 10 years ago, that the PSN went down for a month.
Yeah.
With one of the best
Definitely
episodes
felt
of
like
Podcast Beyond ever.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
Probably
Absolutely.
I actually just realized I got my PlayStation 3 at the very beginning of 2011. This is a story that we've all heard here on the podcast before. I got it to get the PlayStation 3 version of Mass Effect 2, which launched in February of that year. And the thing is that I was still I was not really playing games online on my PlayStation 3 at the time, and I was still finishing up some of the last trickle of Wii games that were on that console. So the outage did not really affect me personally at the time, but I still very much kept abreast of it as it was going on, like the rest of everyone else here.
It definitely did wonders for my Xbox superiority complex that I had.
Did you say had or have? Because I gotta say, it hasn't waned much.
I'm just saying you should be able to access videos that you record on your PlayStation through the PlayStation app, and it doesn't do that because they're behind.
When something gets
I just don't record videos of the games I play. That is a private experience.
Updated for next gen, that version should just work.
It should just
be able to just play that version.
You should just be able to play it, and no.
Do you guys remember Do you remember the Welcome Back program? Like to apologize for the PSN coming back, they gave everyone free games.
Yeah, it's like I got the first Infamous from that. Yeah.
Yep. It was. Do you remember what other games were part of that?
Little Big
Planet 1 was one of them.
Little Big Planet.
What was the PSP game that was like you were like in a car and you were fighting people?
Mod Nation Racers? No.
Pursuit Force. That's the one. I got that one. I played it like once.
Yeah, I'm looking at the list right now. PS3 games were Dead Nation, Infamous, Little Big Planet, Super Stardust HD, and Wipeout HD plus Fury.
And you get two of them. Any two of them.
Any two of them. And on the PSP, it was Little Big Planet, Mod Nation Racers, Pursuit Force, and Killzone Liberation.
I got Killzone
That's
Liberation.
Where I got Killzone Liberation
and Pursuit Force.
I didn't have a PSP.
I played both those games once, and I was like, all right, I'm good. I did, however, play a lot of Super Stardust HD, and that was the other game I got on my PlayStation 3, and that was a jam back in the day.
I had almost everything in Little Big Planet 1 just before my PlayStation 3 yellow lighted.
Oh, I had the same thing. I 100% of my save file, and then my yellow light of death kicked in, and I lost that entire save file.
I was maybe 2 trophies from the platinum, and then I never played that game again.
It's tough.
Yeah.
I think the yellow light kicked in on my PS3. It was The Last of Us. The Last of Us killed my PlayStation 3. I could only get like 30 minutes of gameplay, and then it would yellow light. So I played that game in 30-minute increments. It was awful.
That's how I played Super Mario Sunshine, because I like destroyed my GameCube's like CD reader lens. So I played it in 30-minute increments.
I was gonna say too, with the outage, they gave everybody a month of PS Plus for free, I believe.
Yeah,
it did.
And that's where I signed on to PS Plus and never not had it again.
Yeah. I think that's where a lot of people came in. I came into that day one, and I remember of that year, 2011, Stacking was the first game that came day and date free with it, and I fucking love that game.
That game is so dang good, dude. Love that.
Shatter was on it, and I wish I'd played Shatter. Maybe I should still play Shatter.
Dude,
that's
it's
how I
on
got Shatter as well.
I bought it there because I wanted to play it again, and it's still really good.
I don't like Shatter, but it is worth it for the soundtrack.
Oh my god, the soundtrack is a bop, for sure.
Speaking of soundtracks, Alexo. You can tell I was about to say Alex, but I had to add the O at the end.
Either works for me.
How's the soundtrack in Monster Hunter Rise?
It's actually really great. There's like a title screen music with one of the main characters like singing. There's a lot of music with her singing in it, and it's very melodic and chill. Otherwise, Monster Hunter Rise, what a force to reckon with. I did not expect to fall in love with this game as much as I did. Has anyone else played any Monster Hunters?
I've played I played some of Monster Hunter World because I was sold on the fact that it seemed to be like the most approachable of them. Mm-hmm. And my understanding of this one is it was kind of made in tandem to an extent with World, and so it's not exactly, it didn't really learn or improve upon things in World. It kind of went its own direction in terms of accessibility and approachability for people who are not into Monster Hunter. But Monster Hunter World, I didn't play. I played a good number of hours of it, but I didn't get very far because I found, there were just still too many, in a very, I'll say like Animal Crossing like way, little idiosyncrasies that could have just been ironed out and were like unnecessary little menus that you had to access and things you had to accept or not accept. Little dialogue options that you had to
there's a lot of pop-ups
just those little idiosyncrasies. Like you could streamline this so well and it probably would have kept me in for a lot longer, but then what ultimately I ended up dropping it for was trying to do a certain hunts like multiple times and not understanding the strategy that was required, and which was something completely away from what I had built myself for, on top of the time limit per hunt, and it was just sort of a
perfect storm
of
I don't want to deal with this anymore.
this is a lot better. I just don't feel like I'm just not having any fun anymore with it. So, but
sure, yeah.
World was exciting at the time for sure.
Yeah, I came in on World. That was my first Monster Hunter, and I played through, to credit to that game, which is apparently just half of it. There's like high rank after it, and that is kind of the more difficult version of things, but it's also where more difficult monsters show up. So I was kind of surprised that I got into World, but I'll be honest, what sold me was there's a Digital Foundry video on it, and John Linnerman just went ham on it. Just gives a great little history lesson for Rise, and it really sold me. And getting into it, it's cool because World is that more accessible game, and it kind of did its job here where like World has onboarded me now, where I just get it So now coming into Rise, where it does not care if you get it or not, it's just like, here you are, just do it, I guess. I understand enough to kind of get my feet wet and then dive in. So going from there, all the things that stick out that really work for Rise in the unique front, like the Palamutes, which are a new companion that it's basically a dog mount that you can run on, and running on it kind of doesn't consume stamina, so you're able to get around the map a lot faster, but also you can sharpen your blade while on the back of a Palamute. You can buff yourself, you can take potions, so while you're kind of en route to the hunt or trying to chase the monster to catch up again, you can prep yourself while moving. It just makes everything feel much faster. And on top of that, they have this wire bug mechanic where you can kind of grapple around freely with these wire bugs at short range, which allows for stuff like aerial recoveries when the monster knocks you off your feet to kind of get back into the action a lot faster. And it also lets you do special moves and things like that, and break climbing the environment in a way that feels like you're going places you shouldn't, which I always love in video games. But they're definitely there for you to take advantage of. It's really cool. I'm impressed at how different it is, honestly, but it's not different in any of the ways that would make it a worse experience if you're coming from World. It's just faster, more to the point, and really satisfying.
How does the Switch actually handle it, like performance wise?
Incredibly well. I'm flabbergasted sometimes when I'm in a party of 4 and they have 4 Palamutes there, and we're all hitting a monster, and 3 of the dogs are on the monster, and it's still, it's holding steady at 30 FPS. I wish it, ran faster. Obviously, I'm ruined by new consoles, but it still looks really great for what it is. And once your eyes adjust, it's not too bad, and it's just steady. Plus the online like lobby system is like flawless, and I've barely had a connection issue in it. I don't know how that happened, but Capcom figured it out, I guess, and that's high praise for a Nintendo Switch game.
Speaking
it's great.
Of stellar online experiences, Nathan, you've been playing a lot more Fall Guys 4041 over on twitch.tv/Press YYZ, correct?
Yes, I played a little bit more of it last week. I had a good time with it. I'm trying to figure out what the right thing to be streaming weekly is, and I don't know if it's the same thing every week or if I should be switching it up. But Fall Guys is always a good time when you jump in. So, still working through that season pass.
Did you get any crowns that stream?
No, I got close to one, but didn't quite get there.
Yeah. For the record, Alexo, Nathan here is a savant when it comes to Fall Guys. And you know that he's a savant because I tried to pronounce it in the French way, which is where you don't really pronounce the T at the end.
Yeah, the savant.
So I would say you shouldn't be super down on yourself, Nathan, because you some of the achievements that you've talked about accomplishing in this game in the past are nothing to sneeze at.
Yeah, it's one of those things where I knew this game like the back of my hand when it first launched, and like I got over 50 crowns in the first few months of playing, or a month or two of playing. I stacked up a good amount of wins. I haven't won since starting with the 4041 season. I've gotten close a few times, but honestly, part of it's there's a ton of new levels that I'm not really familiar with after months of being away from the game. So it's still a good time, and this is probably the most time I've invested in an online multiplayer game ever. So I don't know. I like it. It's still a good time. It's still fun to jump in and out of for games. And for a game that costs me nothing on PlayStation Plus and continues to provide free new content, because there were people who were telling me that all the new content was going to be pay locked. They've just done DLC costumes, and you can buy the kudos and stuff. But they like the entire game has been pretty solid. I'm curious to see now that Epic owns Mediatonic, what does this look like for going forward in terms of crossover costumes? Because they've had some really cool stuff from indie games, but like they got the new Godzilla in one of the costumes. They've got some other stuff too. So, will I be streaming that this Thursday or tomorrow? I don't know. We'll see.
In addition to Fall Guys, you've also been busy in a little game by the name of Tony Hawk for the PlayStation 5, correct?
Yes, I downloaded the PlayStation 5 update for Tony Hawk. I'm now 2 trophies away from the platinum.
Wow.
So I finally went back and got all the gaps. And I don't know if you guys are familiar with this podcast called Kind of Funny, Games Daily.
Yeah, doesn't ring a bell.
But I was listening to Tim Geddes say he got all the hard get theres. And I was like, wait, if Tim can do this, I can do this. Turns out I still cannot get the hard get theres. I'm still trying and I'm working my way through them because they are really hard. But I've fallen in love with this game at 4K 60 frames per second. I kind of wish I had a TV that was capable of 120 frames per second because that would look amazing.
It's nice. I'll tell you. It's magical. It takes you to a new world.
I keep trying to tell work to give me a TV and they won't give me a TV yet. But yeah, no, Tony Hawk, really good. One of the updates that they did was once you finish the career mode, it was kind of felt empty. Like you could go into other skaters to the levels just to find their stat points. So they gave you an option to basically redo the career mode and all the checkpoints and everything with every single skater. So I'm kind of redoing that and working on the best ways and the quickest ways to do this. Like this is the entire warehouse level done in 2 minutes. In the one, so all the checkpoints within that period, so that I can try and get some of those challenges unlocked because there's this huge grind. I don't know why they created a get to a level 100 trophy for like the level that you're playing at, but then made it insanely hard, and they don't even have enough challenges in the game to get to a level 100. For the experience points you earn, you kind of just still have to grind it out a huge amount.
Grind it out.
Grinding it.
Yep. I got it.
It's a girthy game that you got to grind.
Yep.
But yeah, no. So like I said, it's a ton of fun. It's a good upgrade. There's small things that it does, like you can get into the game quickly with the action cards. When the haptic feedback, when cars or buses or something are going to come and hit you, you can feel it in the controller as they're getting closer, and the haptics get heavier as it gets closer. The triggers like lock down if you've wiped out and when you're trying to do reverts and stuff. So yeah, no, it's a really good PS5 upgrade. Looks great, runs really smooth, and they took good like they did the best with the PS5 upgrades, that one of the best that I've seen out of them so far. So if you have Tony Hawk and you purchase that digital deluxe edition, it's free for you. If not, you got to pay $10. I think the $10 is worth it.
So I picked up the digital deluxe when it was on sale over the holidays, hoping that it would be something I get to, and I booted it up. I thought I'd love this because I used to love playing these games, and it didn't really click for whatever reason. So I might give it another shot now, knowing that these upgrades are there and sound phenomenal.
Yeah, give it a try. If you want to jump into multiplayer at some point, let me know.
Speaking of multiplayer, AJ, any update with regards to the Outriders experience?
Yeah, I'm in the end game now, and I'm still having a bunch of fun with it. I think the last boss in the story campaign is just utter trash and fucking bullshit. You should be able to balance yourself in such a way that not balance yourself, like build your character in such a way that it feels fair and balanced, and like it doesn't. It just feels needlessly hard. It's a dude, and he spawns these balls that shoot things at you at the very last boss, and it's just so. I started it with a friend at World Tier 15, bumped it down to 12. We still couldn't do it. Bumped it down to 10, World Tier 10. We still couldn't do it. Keep in mind, these are like difficulty settings. We bumped it down, and which we were geared for as well, like the highest possible gear that we could have at that world tier level. We were then we bumped it down to 5, and still, for whatever reason, the downscaling just it couldn't work. It didn't work well, and it was atrocious. And then I eventually caved and just said, fuck it, World Tier 1, which is like baby ass baby mode for the story sort of thing, and we just melted both of his forms in less than a minute.
You didn't want to do World Tier 2, for example?
No, it didn't. No,
you didn't feel like he deserved even that respect, huh?
No, he did.
There is nothing wrong with playing a game on an easier difficulty.
No,
absolutely not.
There's nothing wrong.
But there's a scaling issue there.
Yeah,
that's my complaint. Is there's a weird scaling issue where it felt like we were doing more damage to him at World Tier 10 than we were at World Tier 5. There's a lot of things that make it just straight up a 360 era B game in that regard. But yeah, finally did it, and now we've unlocked expeditions, which are the replayability, so you can which allow you to unlock even higher level gear to move forward. And you can get.
You know what that sounds like?
It sounds like
Destiny.
Don't make me say it. Don't make me say it.
Don't say it. Don't say
Anthem.
it. Don't say
Anthem.
It.
Is it
Marvel's
Yeah,
Avengers.
it's probably Anthem. Yeah,
It's probably
Marvel
Anthem.
goddamn Avengers, AJ.
Marvel's
You know
Anthem.
it.
Yeah, maybe. No, it's I don't know what it is that grabbed me about this and not Avengers, a property that I actually do like and care for. I don't know. Maybe it's because it's not the movie universe.
They're bringing
Avengers.
you knockoff skins. That's going to happen this year.
I thought they already did that when they launched it.
No. So these are going to be accurate skins and not MCU bootleg skins.
Okay. They didn't use the stunt doubles this time, you mean?
Not this time, no.
Okay. No, I don't know what it is that's grabbing me about it. I'm just having just enough fun with the loop, and trying to progressively get better. I think I found it like a good build for my Technomancer. Pyromancer is still dead. They have not come through with that make good yet. But yeah, Alex, Ballant, are you still playing it?
I haven't touched it in a little bit since having completed it. But yeah, I do fully agree that there's like this weird issue with like the scaling of I feel like difficulty in general, especially with the boss fights. I, for one, was like thinking, honestly, I think every boss in the game sucks. I think the rest of the like just shooting enemies and fighting like the normal enemies is a lot of fun. But then I don't know, and maybe it was coming as well, being like playing completely solo probably didn't help, where like I feel like it would be a little bit better if I was playing with other people. But at the same time, I don't really see that as like an excuse for it to just not be fun. And I honestly did the exact same thing with the final boss, and I just threw it on 1 because I'm like, I just want to be finished with
I just want to get through, and yeah. There's something about it. It's broken in a lot of wrong ways, but it still remains good it's tickling something that I don't know where it is, and I don't know why, but
be careful about who's tickling you.
Yeah, don't let the alpha dudes here tickle you. They'll tickle you too good. It's not fun.
Okay. Let us move on. Before we delve into our topic of the show for this evening, Mitch, you and Nathan have been meaning to sell the rest of us on a show called The Circle.
Let me tell you what. Do you like trashy reality shows based on something that's really, really infuriating?
No.
If so, I got the show for you. So, The Circle is a Netflix reality show where they take a group of strangers. Each of them are isolated in their own rooms. It's great for COVID times. And the only interaction the players have is via a social network called The Circle.
Circle message.
So each player sets up their profile and does what they do. But not everyone is as it seems. There are catfish in the game. People come in playing someone who is not themselves. They'll come in playing a husband or a girlfriend or a famous celebrity, maybe.
Yes.
It is absolute garbage TV, but if you need a garbage TV show to watch, The Circle is without a doubt my biggest guilty pleasure when it comes to TV, and it's so bad that it's good.
It's filling my Survivor void that I've had for a year without Survivor. I've actually been really excited. I was Googling a few weeks ago, when are we going to get this second season of Circle? And then all of a sudden they're like, hey, Circle launches in 4 days out of nowhere. But yeah, no, as Mitch was saying, it's good, trashy television in all the right ways. With, like, I will say there's strategic gameplay going on, which I appreciate, because I do appreciate good gameplay when you're talking about reality shows. And there are people who are playing this well, and there are people who are playing it stupidly.
Yep.
And the catfishing's amazing, watching people pretend to be people they're not, and having to keep that up, because once you take on a persona that's not you, you have to live that 24/7 whenever you're involved in it.
Nathan, did you watch season 1?
Yes.
Okay. So if you guys are going to jump into season 2, I'm just going to give you a little context by talking a little bit about something that happened in season 1. The girls all started a private girls chat and started talking about how they feel when they're menstruating. And there was a dude in there because he was catfishing as a woman. And this dude trying to jump through hoops and try to explain how he felt while he was menstruating was the trashiest piece of TV I've ever seen, and it was glorious in every way.
I swear there's like a Jackbox game, like Guess Find the Liar or something like that. Faking it, yeah, that is set up almost exactly like that, where, Google Faking It Jackbox, you'll know what I'm talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Just the fact that it's all done behind this pseudo social network and everyone's isolated it just adds enough of a unique twist on a pretty formulaic game that it's just so, I don't know, it's the most bingeable thing in the world. Like, I burned through the first 4 episodes they put up, and they're putting up 4 episodes a week, and I cannot wait for this Wednesday for them to put up 4 more. I guess by the time this comes out, by the time you're seeing this, there are 8 up, and the finales will all come, or the final 4 episodes will come next week. So I'm so excited.
Yeah, no, it's really good trash television. I appreciate the crossovers from other brands that they brought into this show. And the pseudo celebrity that joined was pretty interesting, that I did not expect.
Yep.
I was on my
should be watching The Circle.
I was on my treadmill watching it this morning, and I was like, holy shit, what the fuck's going on?
Oh, was that you hit the end of episode 2?
Yeah. I'm like 15 minutes into episode 3 now. So, but like,
if anyone out there hits the end of episode 2 of season 2 of The Circle and wants to talk, you can reach out to me personally at Mr. Mitch George on Twitter. Come join our Discord server. DM me anywhere you can, because I will talk about this show all day, goddamn long.
Circle group in the Discord server. What's the link to the Discord server?
invite.gg/Press YYZ.
Cool. Because I love talking about it too. So let me know. And maybe we'll have a Circle cast. Press Circle.
Well, maybe we will set up a Circle chat on the Discord server.
Ooh.
Do you, I'm curious, Alexo, do you have any connection, any experience at all with this TV show?
No. Hard miss on me. I'm sorry.
Do you want to?
Same boat.
Yeah.
No. I hate reality TV more than like almost anything. But also, like, I don't watch a lot of TV right now, so you'd have to like pull my arm backwards to get me to watch anything, let alone like B-tier TV, which I appreciate and respect from a distance.
Totally understandable. Okay, with that out of the way, it is time for us to head into our topic of the show for this evening, which is going to be the 5 of us, with myself, the 6th person, the judge, determining and deciding and crafting the very best ever ultimate video game theme park to ever exist. Now, we have done shows like this in the past, which the kind of format of this particular kind of show we're about to do is what we like to call rankin', but really, if you drill it down, it's basically a ripoff of Kind of Funny's ranking show that they did back in the day, whose name eludes me because it's been
Debatable.
a period of time. Debatable.
Debatable.
I miss it so much.
You get to do it here every once in a while, so it's fun.
Without spoiling things, this version of our debatable ripoff show is going to be quite a bit different than some of these shows that we have had in the past. The first section of the show is going to be what you normally probably have come to expect from it. We're going to go around the room asking everybody to pitch their theme park attractions per the theme of today's show. But then after that, things are going to get interesting. But more on that in a bit. Alex O'Neill, are you down and ready to be the first person that pitches their theme park attraction this evening?
Absolutely.
All right.
I just have some questions.
Yes.
Of
course.
Any good theme park has a lot of questions.
Of course.
Does there need to be cohesion here? Or is it just, whatever?
No, this theme park is a celebration of all video game genres and franchises to ever exist. Now, of course, as the show progresses, people can suggest ways that their theme park rides or other pieces of theme park infrastructure can coincide with, work in tandem with other things that other people have suggested, of course. But you don't need to be like, okay, I'm only going to talk about theme park rides based off of Nintendo platformers or Sony first-person shooters, for example. You can be as varied as you want to be.
Sure. There's a lot of variation here. I'll start with I feel like this is a surefire hit. Okay. With the kids, with the adults, with everyone, all ages. And I'm thinking along the lines, I've been to many a theme park in my life, mostly Disney World. But
go Disney. Woo.
Which I love. But I know that there's definitely a lot of concepts that are reused in theme park rides a lot, and one of my ideas is that for sure, like the movie ride or whatever. But this one, I wanted to try and I want something that's more new age, interactive. I don't know how like that Star Wars ride that everyone thinks is magical works. I've never been
Rise
on that.
of the Resistance.
Yeah. I've not done that, but I've heard it's cool. So incorporating more new age things. It's Zelda themed, obviously. Got to start there first. Ocarina of Time, Temple of Time, but my idea is it is an escape room, but like there's no stakes, like you're not going to die here or anything. But the idea is like it is a Zelda dungeon made into maybe one or two rooms, and it's the Temple of Time because I think that'd be cool. And the goal is to like solve the puzzles in the temple to open a door that would reveal the Master Sword chamber, and then you like lift the Master Sword, and that's how you win the game.
And then when you exit on the other side, you're actually 7 years in the future, and everything's destroyed, and it's apocalypse, and you have no idea how to get back.
Exactly. No, we don't have to do that, but I kind of like the commitment to the bit there, where it's just like you thought you won. But I love the idea of like Zelda style puzzles, like maybe one where you have to like push a cube around or something, or rearrange stuff, or even like Korok seed style puzzles like magnetic or something. And then you're maybe collecting the emerald and the sapphire and the ruby to put in the pedestal to then open it's all about the moment that you've done everything and you feel that satisfaction when you put the pendants in, and then you actually see like a secret stone door rise. Like that's where all the money's going. And then the reward is like that great skylight chamber with the Master Sword in it. I feel like that'd be really cool. It's interactive in a way that is way more fun. It's way more memorable.
I think that there are a lot of good ideas at play here. Obviously, we have many more attractions to go through with the rest of the cast. But for now, Alex O'Neill, your pitch is going to go at number one. Do we have a name for this attraction? A catchy, rolls right off the top of your tongue name to call this? Do we just want to call it the Temple of Time?
I feel like the Temple of Time is good. I think Find the Master Sword is like a good subtitle, maybe, or something like that. Like
Master
Temple of
Sword
Time,
Quest.
the Master Sword Quest or Master Quest or something like that.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'm trying to come up with catchy names.
Well, you don't have to worry because we'll be coming to you in just a few turns, because next up is Alex Ballant.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm very glad that you came to me. All ready to go. So, I came up with this exactly 30 seconds ago, but I'm real proud of it already. So, as you know, I'm a pretty big fan of a certain video game series called Halo.
Mm-hmm.
Not sure if you
Never
knew
heard
this.
of it.
And two of the games, Halo 1 and Halo 3, have something in common. The last level consists of a warthog run, where you have to get in a warthog and drive it because something's exploding and you don't want to die. And I think that would make a great ride of like have the cart that you're in be shaped like a warthog, so you're feeling like, so it really kind of brings in the immersion, and you could really bring in like different, it could be because I know there are those types of rides that you could do where you have like a light gun and you have to like shoot targets, so like it could be like, because one of the, as well with the Star Wars ride, it's supposed to be you're like piloting the Millennium Falcon, and like every person has something different to do.
Those are two different rides. There's the Millennium Falcon run, and then there's Rise of Resistance.
Right. Okay. So I think it would be definitely like in line with like that Millennium Falcon ride, where it's like you could have somebody who's kind of doing the driving and somebody doing like the shooting for it, and you can really bring in all types of really cool elements with that. And just like, I just think it would be so cool, especially if they did like the virtual elements of it. Like, you know, you're like, you got the screen, so you could have like the music elements. You could be bringing in sort of like 3D environments to it. Like, I think that this would be just a really cool ride and really make you feel like you are the Master Chief about to finish the fight.
All
I
right.
like this one.
I like it. There's a lot of good ideas at play. I mean, both your idea, Alex, and O'Neill's, Alexo's idea are both pretty good standout ones, real strong off the bat. See, I'm a little bit more privy towards Alex's idea, and that's Alex without the O at the end, just because I appreciate the, you know, hypothetical visceralness of what the Halo ride will provide. The Master Sword Quest ride or attraction or whatever you want to call it sounds like it would be a lot of fun. I especially look forward to the moment where you take the Master Sword out of its pedestal at the very end, but I also can see it being a ride that leaves you confounded for quite a long period of time, especially if you don't really kind of know how to progress through the puzzles before you. So I'm going to be putting Alex's Halo ride at number 1 and Alexo's Master Quest Sword ride at number 2. But obviously, don't worry, because you will get opportunities to reclaim the throne well into the future, Alexo. So don't be too upset by this turn of events, because there's always an opportunity to come back.
You gotta cut me early so that way I don't get ahead of myself. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Yeah, we got to knock you down a couple pegs because you're clearly the best Alex here.
I'm
quick
just
question.
way too.
Trust
full
me,
of
it's what
myself.
they do on every one of these shows that I participate in.
Blatantly, Alex.
Yes.
What do we call your ride?
I'm trying because I feel like I don't know. I had sort
Doesn't
of
fully
two,
fulfill combat at all.
I would have called it a Warthog run, because I think that's like a pretty, I think that's kind of what it's referred to as, like kind of for the games. But also Finish the Fight would be one.
Pillar of Bottom.
Driving around with my big buddy John, is that a good one?
Escaping
Me and my
Installation
pal
4.
John.
I don't
Me
know.
and my big boy.
Guilty Spark.
What's the name of
The
the last
Halo.
Halo 1 mission?
The last mission in Halo 1 is the Maw, and in Halo 3 it is, I believe it's Halo.
I feel like
So why don't you just call it
maybe a
Halo?
deep cut reference.
Yeah.
There's got to be more to it than just escaping.
Yeah. I think Warthog Run, honestly.
All right.
I think it's catchy, kind of gets to the point.
For sure.
There we go. Mr. Mitch
There's some guy in
George.
yellow armor who just calls it a puma.
Mr. Mitch George, our resident
Yes,
theme
sir.
park maniac. What is
That's
your
me.
pitch for your theme park attraction?
I'm just going to say, Alex, the first one I had on my list was Halo Light Gun Ride, and I'm really pissed right now.
Hell yeah.
Me too.
So I'm going to go with a seasonal attraction. So Universal Studios specifically, and we've seen this with our own Canada's Wonderland here in Southern Ontario, they do these kind of Halloween themed events where they have mazes and like they hire cast members to come out and spook you and cause jump scares and all of that. Universal Studios specifically needs to add a Resident Evil Horror Night maze to their Hollywood Horror Nights exhibit during the Halloween season. Just a jaunt through Raccoon City, and Nemesis is off somewhere in the distance. You don't know where. It'll pop up at some point randomly, like it's never going to be the same spot. So if you want to do the maze more than one time, he's gonna pop out at you and scare you in different places you're not expecting. You can have, you know, the zombie dogs and stuff. All these, you know, mainstays of the Resident Evil series really cause some chaos and havoc in this gaming themed Hollywood Horror Night attraction.
Are these dogs, like, are all these zombified creatures real, or are they animatronic?
It would be a mix of animatronic and cast members. So you would actually like dress people up in costumes and as zombies, and then you also have some animatronic elements that pop up and scare you and things like that.
Okay, and are you entirely on foot, or are you in like some sort of trolley or?
So the way these quote unquote mazes work at these like Halloween themed events is you're walking through the area. So it's sort of like a haunted house, but we're basically building a Resident Evil haunted house at this theme park every Halloween, because who doesn't want to, you know, jaunt through a Resident Evil themed haunted house every Halloween season?
What do you call this attraction?
Resident Evil Escape from Raccoon City.
Okay.
That's a pretty solid name.
Yeah,
I thought so.
Overall, my like quick review of your theme park attraction, Mitch, is solid. I think it's totally, you know, something
feasible?
That is feasible, acceptable. We'll probably get some good scares out of people, but I, at the moment, can't put it higher than number 3 on the list that we are creating.
Too spoopy. Too much spookiness.
You spoop.
I went seasonal. I went relevant. And go and do this to me, Cozy.
Yeah,
I don't know what to say.
That's what
I like that
happened.
one a lot.
All right, Nathan. I hope
All
that
right,
we have given you sufficient
go ahead.
time to think up the name for your attraction, because you are up.
Okay, so I've got a few that I've brainstormed up here and written down. So the first one's going to be an Uncharted themed. I've got to workshop the name still, because right now I have Tomb Explorer, but that's probably too close to Tomb Raider. So I'm still trying to figure it out, and it kind of is a little bit like Alex's deal, where basically you're in it to, like, you're looking for a hidden treasure. So you're in like this room, or in multiple rooms, as you're like trying to solve and get through to find the treasure. But you've got to avoid traps that will be put all over the place. Also, there's a laser gun implementation to it in the cave, so that there will be enemy combatants trying to stop you from solving it, and you have to avoid that and take them out too. And they're not necessarily like, they're like people who work for the exhibit. So they're more like stormtroopers, and they miss a lot because they want you to get through. But it provides that like action piece that you would get. So if they get stunned with the laser gun, they like fall down. As you try and get to the whatever the MacGuffin is in this storyline, because it would be a completely new storyline in the Uncharted universe.
Are you accompanied throughout the ride by Nathan Drake or any of the other protagonists from the Uncharted series?
So, while you're not accompanied by anybody within it, you will get an earpiece that will have Sully speaking to you as you go through. It's telling, like, giving you hints and stuff in the areas and telling you what to do. So, like, it's adding a little bit of mystery to it, a little bit of escape room, a little bit of action that's fun to go through, as well as trying to give you an authentic Uncharted experience at the same time.
Have you in the time since starting your pitch, have you thought up a name?
Since I started it,
which is 2 minutes ago. Not a lot of time.
Uncharted Fight for Fortune.
All right. You know what? I will say this, Nathan. Uncharted Fight for Fortune has been delisted from the PlayStation Vita store. I tried looking for it when I assembled my big list of all the PlayStation Vita games I'm going to download. You can no longer get it on the store, and I was pretty upset about that. I want to get all the trophies across all the Uncharted games, but now I can't on account of the Uncharted digital-only card game being delisted. So I appreciate you keeping the spirit and memory of Nathan Drake's greatest outing alive. I feel like I can't put it any higher than number 4 on account of the fact that, I think one of the greatest suites of the Uncharted games are all the characters, and I feel like your attraction is a bit lacking in characters. But like I said, with all of our previous contestants, there will be many an opportunity for you to reclaim your position and go for gold. All right, AJ.
All right. So, thinking back to just absolutely how amazing places like Hogwarts look at Disney, Universal, and how Nintendo Land, the pictures out of Nintendo Land in Japan look, it just sort of kind of got me thinking, well, why shouldn't one of the biggest franchises in the last 10 years also have that as well? That sort of treatment. Why not a whole section devoted to Minecraft? You have the aesthetic with all the blocks. You have different biomes where you can have various different activities. You could theoretically craft and build your own diamond pickaxe if you wanted, similar to like building a lightsaber. You could have various quests that you go on to get the various achievements. Like, for example, there's one for baking bread, actually, an achievement for baking bread, and you could, just by going to the local shop where somebody's dressed as a villager, going like they do, you could buy bread from them, and you've got bread or something. There's so much possibility, and you could even supplement it because Microsoft owns it with, say, a HoloLens like activity where you could do the AR thing like what they tried to do on the phone, but in this specific space where there's room for other people to build things that they've collected along the way. In a virtual section of the place. Minecraft is just so ripe with opportunity and creativity that there are countless things you can do there, whether it be going on through different biomes, have a whole section devoted to the Nether, and go to hell in Minecraft.
Wow.
And yeah, like have a portal that
is that what the Nether is?
Like, yeah, it's
essentially, yeah.
My kids talk about it all the time, and I don't know what it means.
Have a portal, like an obsidian portal that you can walk through, similar to walking through the 9 3/4 platform at the Disney, Universal Hogwarts, and suddenly instead of the Hogwarts Express, you're just in some sort of hell castle, and you have to, maneuver your way through that, and yeah, it's very, very inspiring to me.
I have 2 questions. Question number 1. Is the Minecraft section of this theme park that we're crafting procedurally generated every time you enter it? Or rather, every time that the park opens for the day? Because every time that somebody would enter it being procedurally generated, that would get weird. There would be all sorts of space-time continuing breakings that you would have to do to get that
working. Think the virtual aspect that I pitched with, like, say, a HoloLens could be procedurally generated. If there is, like, a big enough section cordoned off with sensors and whatnot, you walk in with the HoloLens, and suddenly there's these other blocks and stuff in your way, and you can't see around. You got to go through the path, but virtually, I think. And every day it's going to be something different. Something, you never know what biome you could be in for that section. I think for the main portion of it, because not everybody's going to agree with HoloLens, you have your basic, like your home base. Any Minecraft world that I create like the same tower the same circle-looking tower, and that is my home base that I keep everything in. And then around that is what is procedural for me.
So jumping off of that, can you manipulate the bricks and materials in this world to craft it to your liking?
Absolutely. You should be able to mine things. You should be able to take souvenirs with you like that. Build a pickaxe like you would at Star Wars. All that stuff. Absolutely. Why shouldn't you be allowed to knock a tree down, but it still floats in midair somehow when you gather the wood for it?
All right, I quite like your pitch, AJ. I would not have initially thought of Minecraft as a theme park attraction, but the way that you managed to describe it to me, I think that it makes perfect sense. I still appreciate the visceralness of the Warthog run a little bit more. However, short of that, I am going to be putting it at the number 2 spot.
Fair enough.
So, for those of you who are currently listening to this podcast on audio only, before I go over the current rankings, AJ, what do we want to call this attraction?
Well, I guess Minecraft World makes sense.
All right.
Minecraft World.
I feel like, was there not like a Minecraft World mobile game at some point?
I believe that was the phone game that was supposed to be like Pokemon Go, but unfortunately it didn't catch on. So adapt it for a centralized location.
I remember that because when Steve from Minecraft got added into Smash Bros, Sakurai talked about how they couldn't use any music from Minecraft proper, but they could use music from like all the Minecraft spin-offs like Minecraft World and Minecraft Dungeons.
Interesting.
Yeah. So with that, the current rankings are as follows. In number 1 spot, we have Alex's Warthog Run attraction based on the world of Halo with 5 points. In the number 2 spot, we have AJ's Minecraft World attraction with 3 points. In the number 3 spot, we have Alex O'Neill's The Master Sword Quest attraction based on the world of The Legend of Zelda with 2 points. In the number 4 spot, we have Mitch's Resident Evil Escape from Raccoon City attraction with 2 points. And in the number 5 spot, we have Nathan's Uncharted Fight for Fortune, hashtag The Vita Lives with 2 points. Alexo, are you ready to provide for me your second theme park attraction?
Yes, I'm ready.
All right.
This one, I'll give you the name. It's Destiny themed. Hello, I love Destiny.
So, wait, hold on. The theme park attraction is called It's Destiny Themed.
No.
Okay.
But I will give you the name. I feel like, because I'm just listening to you guys talk about it. I like, Mitch, I like your idea of like a seasonal one. My idea here would be more of like, it's a movie ride. So like think Harry Potter, the movie ride in Harry Potter World, or like, I mean, probably like the Halo ride that we're talking about here, right? Where you're getting in a vehicle and you're kind of looking at the screen, but it's going around places.
The Ratatouille ride, they're opening soon at Disney World.
Oh, I didn't know they're making a Ratatouille ride. That sounds.
It already exists at Disneyland Paris, and they're bringing it over to Epcot.
That's cool
for the 50th anniversary.
Or even like Mission the Mission Earth or whatever, Mission Space, I think is the Disney World one in Epcot. That's like you're on like a spaceship taking
Mission
off.
to Mars.
Mission to Mars.
The Mission to Mars ride. Yeah, I don't remember what it's called specifically. I think it's.
I feel like it's Mission Space.
Space sounds right. Yeah.
But I'm terrible with names. But so the idea, it's Destiny Adventures, and this one is Saving Soul, SOL. So there could be like different Destiny adventures. My idea here is for folks that played the Red War campaign, which is no longer available. It's the mission where you board the Almighty and destroy it. It's a very fun mission from the Destiny 2 campaign. It's like the second to last mission, I think. It's got a standout moment where you're like going on the Almighty, like on a trail, like on a track, and you can see the sun just like burning right there. And then there are parts where you're like going across the outside of the Almighty, and you have to like go behind these vents where where you're protected from the sun's heat. But it's cool because the Almighty is this giant like T-shaped or I-shaped ship that is created to go into suns and stars and destroy them. So you're like in a Destiny ship chasing it and getting off with Guardians while they're destroying the Almighty. I feel like even for something like this, you could just do the Vanguard trio. Would be really cool for Destiny fans like Zavala and Cade and Ikora.
Yeah, it'd be cool to like get like Lance Reddick and Nathan Fillion to do the voices.
Yeah, and like it would just be fun time. Plus, you very rarely get to see the three of them like together, like as a fire team. So it would be fun. It'd be good for Destiny fans. I like it's a really standout mission from that original campaign that no longer exists in any capacity. So it also kind of brings it back in a way, and it's just like a very visually stellar run. So like just chasing the Almighty, going up to it, being right there under the sun, and then blowing it up and flying off back to Earth in the distance.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Can you pick your class at the beginning and use specific powers and stuff to kind of...
That would be cool. I would want to make it fun for everybody. That's why like the kind of democratization of it with a movie ride is easy, where it's just everyone's kind of doing the same thing. But I do like the idea of like the Buzz Lightyear ride where you've got like a different thing and maybe it's like a different weapon depending on which class you choose.
Yeah, or maybe it could be like you need to have a hunter, a titan, and a
warlock.
A warlock. Yeah, I like that more.
Yeah, it could be like there's
giving out roles like they do in Smuggler's Run, the Millennium Falcon ride, where each different person in the ride has a different responsibility or class.
It adds also like wanting to
replay value. Yeah, so it's like, oh, I played Titan last time, I want to play the warlock this time. I think that would be really cool.
So I just have one question. On the mission that takes you in very close proximity to the sun, you mentioned how like you have to stay out of cover of the sun's rays because it's incredibly hot and overwhelming. On the ride version of this mission,
we got heat vents. We got those little radiators up in the ceiling.
Have you ever been on Backdraft at Universal Studios?
I've not.
Backdraft like that.
It's not going to actually try to melt you. It's just giving you.
No, it's you're going to feel warmth, and it's
just
like,
to increase
cool. It's
the
like
immersion,
the sun is there.
Okay. I really think that there's a lot going on in this ride. It's certainly one of the most elaborate attractions that we've come up with thus far. See, here's the thing. Alex's Warthog run has held on for quite some time, and I think that what I appreciate about it is just its sort of simplicity. The fact that it is... Oh, Alex. Sorry, AJ. You have something to say?
Hi.
No? Oh,
no, that's Lin-Manuel Miranda raising his hand.
Yeah, I was in the back of AJ right now. It's Lin-Manuel
playing
raising his hand.
Alexander Hamilton.
Yeah.
Now I actually understand why it's there.
I understood it at the beginning and didn't enjoy it.
I appreciated it.
It's another Alex. I get it.
Yeah.
I love Hamilton, so this works for me.
I appreciate
we have a
Alex
bunch of Hamill
Balance
fans.
Warthog run because of the kind of sheer simplicity of it. It's just a recreation of this one mission from the end of Halo 1 and no real kind of pizzazz other than that. On the other hand, while the attraction that you just pitched, Alexo, is way more elaborate, obviously that allows it to remain a lot more fresh. Every time that you go to a theme park, you can theoretically have a way more different time than you had last time around. So, you know what? Considering that, Alex, you're going to be able to go next and you're going to be able to pitch something brand new and avenge yourself, I'm going to put your Destiny ride, Alexo, at number 1 for now.
Nice.
What was it called again?
Oh, good point. Alexo.
Destiny Adventures Saving Soul. So Saving Soul. This is one of them. So it's SOL.
Leaves them the opportunity to expand for additional Destiny Adventure attractions.
Exactly.
Across multiple theme parks.
Yeah,
depending on who Activision decides
Destiny
to
Adventures, fighting Oryx could be one. Destiny Event, you got limitless possibilities here.
All right. Alex Bell.
Avenge Cade is another one.
Rest in peace.
Alex Ballant.
I'm ready.
What is your second attraction?
All right, so this is this is going to be something that I feel like is going to be a little sort of outside the box thinking, but I think it could really work. Given, I think one of the coolest things that I've heard about the Star Wars exhibit at Disneyland, can't remember what it's called, but I think the coolest
Rise of the Resistance.
Just the area,
or just the Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge, yes. One of the coolest things I've heard about Galaxy's Edge is that every single person who works there is in character, and I think that is something that really adds to the immersion of going to this place and feeling like you're in the Star Wars universe. And so I mean,
that applies. Just sorry to interject.
Yeah.
That applies across the board at Disney. I've told the story a number of times that my wife and I got engaged at Disney World in 2018, and everything about their customer service experience from the moment you get there to the moment you leave is unlike anything I've experienced anywhere else. If you can, go to Disney World specifically, stay on property, and just immerse yourself in everything, because it's such a unique experience.
It is something that I really hope that I get to do at some point. But so back to the ride, our attraction. What I would want to do is it would be like a little area, like it would be specifically almost like an escape room type thing where you have to like go into a specific area. What it is it's the name of the ride is World of Assassins, and it is a hitman themed attraction. And so what it is you have to go in. You have like this little briefing area where you can like get into costume that they like provide for you, and you can kind of choose like what do you want your starting thing to look like. And the goal is you get briefed and you get told somebody that you have to assassinate, and it's a cast member who works there, and it's this full room of people, and there's other people who are assassins, and then there are all the cast members are people who can be assassinated. And so you have like this option to like, you have to figure out this person, you have to find out where this person is, and you have to like assassinate them. And obviously, and it would be something like, I could see it being like potential like app integration where you have to like download a specific app, and then like you have to use like the RFID scanner in the thing to be able to like get like key cards and stuff like that, so you can like move around this exhibit. You have to like be sneaky, or you have to do like the social stealth type stuff. I just feel like it could be this really cool and immersive experience, given like how just if it went all out and like really tried to like create the immersion, and you could like with the RFID thing, you could have like different weapons, and it's like, how do you want to kill this person? And depending on how that goes, there could be like triggers that happen in the world. So it's like you might have to like get to this certain area, and you can't go there unless you have this key card. So you have to try and find the person who you can get the key card, and it could be this whole like really cool elaborate thing that I think could just be a once in a lifetime experience.
I really like parts of it, and I do want to say up front, Alex, that I really do appreciate that you had a
Yeah, my camera freaked
you okay?
out. Sorry, guys. Give me 1 second.
Oh, not a problem.
No worries.
Alex, I want to say I really do like your idea, and I really do appreciate that right off the bat you had a great name for it, World of Assassination. I will say, like, why you can hear a little bit of reluctance in my voice right now is because, again, it reminds me a lot of the complicated and slowness of the Master Quest attraction that Alex O'Neill pitched, but combine that with, a lot more, many more levels of complexity, what with people being split up into multiple teams. When I consider something like Alex O'Neill's Master Quest attraction, I feel like I'm a little bit more privy to that one, if only because it is just, hey, you are just one team trying to figure out how to get through the Temple of Time and lift up the Master Quest and travel to the future. This sounds like, and I'm not saying that it can't not work. I can totally see a scenario where this can totally work, but this just sounds like it has the potential to go over a few people's heads. So,
oh yeah, for sure.
I'm going to put it at number 5, underneath the Master Quest quest, above Resident Evil Escape from Raccoon City.
Fair enough.
All right, Mr. Mitch George. Are you ready
Yes,
with your
sir.
second pitch?
I am.
All right. Go for it.
I just need to remember the name of the attraction I want to compare this to. Again, this is going to go back to something we've talked about a lot. The Harry Potter exhibit at Universal, they have a roller coaster that's themed after Hagrid's motorcycles. It's Hagrid's magical creature motorcycle or motorbike adventure. It's got the stupidest name in the world, but it seems like a pretty fun attraction. I can't wait to one day get there and give it a shot. What I'm proposing is an attraction that similarly has like thematic elements throughout. So it's got faster sections, slower sections, where you slow down and take in a bit of how they've themed the attraction. The attraction, it's going to be like you're paragliding, because this is going to be the ultimate video game crossover ride. This is Fortnite Glider Flight, and you are going to have characters from Street Fighter. You're going to have characters from the Marvel Cinematic Universe. You're going to have characters from across the board flown throughout this attraction in a way that only Fortnite can. You're going to get all the kids there, because if you have a Fortnite ride, all the kids are going to be on that ride. It's going to have a 3-hour wait most days. So you're going to be sort of like suspended, similarly to an attraction at our local Canada's Wonderland that I can't remember the goddamn name of. It used to be called Tomb Raider. I think it's called Time Warp now, for those who are local to Southern Ontario. So basically, you're basically suspended on this glider, and you're going through this ride. It'll speed you up, like it'll shoot you forward real fast at times. It'll slow you down so you can take in some of the themed areas of the ride where you're dealing with like the whole, what was it, like the Nexus event or whatever happened in Fortnite. I don't play Fortnite, so I can't really speak too much to it, but it gives you the opportunity to have the ultimate licensed experience and bring the world's most popular entertainment property right now, Fortnite, into your theme park. It's a no-brainer that Fortnite Glider Flight needs to be somewhere on this list.
My one question is there some sort of battle royale aspect to this attraction? Are you competing with all the other kids to remain the single person still gliding in the air by the end of the flight? Or is it just, let's glide?
No, because it's a roller coaster, and that would be dangerous. But I mean, the theming around the ride would be that you are landing in the battle royale. I don't remember what they call it in Fortnite specifically.
Fortnite Land.
You're whatever you want to call it. Yeah, it's got a whole themed area around it too, where all the video game rides are. But no, it can sort of be, the attraction is you landing for the battle royale, and maybe they have stations set up after the event or after the ride, like in the gift shop area where you're going to buy a ton of llama pinata things, I think is a Fortnite. I don't know. But they'll have stations set up where you could play Fortnite and you'll never get your kids out of there, and they'll end up spending way too much money, which is great for the economics of your park. It's a no-brainer to try to figure out a way to put the Fortnite into a theme park, whether it be here or anywhere else. So Fortnite Glider Flight is my my pitch.
I will say, I do appreciate you playing the economic angle to this particular attraction, which is not an angle we have heard thus far on this podcast. So you do get points for that. It's going to be your most popular ride in the park. The kids are going to be lined up for days trying to get on this stupid thing.
You're not wrong.
You know what, Mitch? I'm going to put your ride at number 3, above Minecraft World, below Warthog Run. Quick one.
I'll take it.
I like it. I was kind of hoping for.
This is the only one that's going to get made, because it's the only one that's going to make a theme park.
What's it called again?
Oh, dude, there's already a
Halo does not sell the way Fortnite sells.
Outpost Discovery, though, is a real thing.
Mitch, what's it called again?
Fortnite Glider Flight.
Fortnite Glider Flight. Cool. Nathan, you're up.
All right. Okay, so this is going to be based on the Persona universe.
Ooh.
All right.
And the name, because I've already come up with it, and it's a Japanese RPG, so it has to have a nonsense Japanese name.
Here we go.
It's going to be Persona E Riders. I don't know why, but I just feel like that fits the series very well.
Feels right.
Ease
Feels
for
right.
experience.
Yeah.
And so this is going to be akin to It's a Small World After All.
What?
From Disneyland, but instead of creepy dolls, you're going through the different various locations of the Persona universe, wearing AR glasses and seeing all the characters and getting to interact with them. At the same time, you've got the Persona music being theming the entire ride as you're going through it. So you get different cuts from I'm really just focusing on Persona 3, 4, and 5, but different cuts from the music from Persona 3, 4, and 5 as you're going through places like LeBlanc, June's, the Velvet Rooms, Mementos, Tartarus, and seeing the characters in their environments interacting. But then there's also a competition aspect to it where there is a murder mystery that's that you have to get the clues while you're going through the ride to be able to solve at the end, to get the completion for the ride. So you get all your characters. So you get Joker, you've got main character or male or female Persona 3 protagonist, you from Persona 4. All of your friends are in it, so you get all the access to the characters, and they're all voiced, and they interact with you as you're going through the ride. And with the AR glasses, they'll even come up to you at certain points and talk to you. And then, really, it's just like this combination of, because what really hit it was Persona 5 has great music, and I was trying to think about like rides which really capitalize on music, and then I thought about how terrible of It's a Small World song it really is as you go through that creep thin. But what if we made
that
it
is
cool
a gem? Don't you dare besmirch the good name of It's a Small World, sir.
So you just create this really hip thing where you get to go to these locations you've never been before, seeing their characters in their own environments as they're interacting with everything, and they interact with you. And then there's a little murder mystery going on that connects all three of the universes together at the same time.
I mean, here's the thing, Nathan. By choosing to make a ride based around Persona to begin with, you were already going to rank high in my book. Now, I will say this.
Number one.
I will say this to be critical for just a second. I feel like the ride that you're describing is good enough without the whole mystery solving aspect of it. Like, I feel like it's just perfectly fine as is without that as just like a, as you said, It's a Small World after all inspired ride with excellent music. So based on that, I'm going to put it at the number 2 slot.
Yes.
All right, AJ, you're up.
Okay. First and foremost, I'm going to post a link into the.
Never mind. Sorry, I was about to ask Nathan what the name of the ride was, but I made a point of noting it down because it was that great. Persona E-Riders. All right, go back.
I posted a link to a video of somebody riding a ride at Universal Studios in Hollywood. It is the Jurassic Park ride. Yeah, I have been on this ride numerous times, and it remains, anytime I go to Universal Studios, probably one of my most favorite immersive experiences at a theme park altogether. What it is it's one of those water rides.
Didn't they retheme this recently?
Yeah, I think they rethemed recently to Jurassic World.
Right?
Yeah, it has Jurassic World stuff in it.
They've added in more screens and interactive elements like that. But
yeah, they did
continue.
Something along those lines. But yeah, the so what it is it's you know, you're in a boat with a bunch of people, and you're kind of, it's one of those like theme park log rides, right, where you know you're probably going to get wet at the end, but it at the start it starts off very peaceful, and you know you're going through what appears to be a log ride version of an automated Jurassic Park. For me personally, I kind of see dinosaurs and as like mystical weird creatures, especially because we don't really get to experience them in real life. So in a similar vein, imagine something like this, but instead of giant dinosaurs, there were Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my god.
And on this ride, you had a camera where you had to try and take the best possible pictures against everybody else in your boat of the Pokemon the Pokemon animatronics that they have set up around this ride. Now, you could go into a cave like we're seeing here on screen, and you could get a little spooky with it, but not too spooky because Pokemon's still for kids. But there's something that could be super exciting about this fully immersive ride where all of a sudden, you know what? Pokemon are real. This ride as a kid made me feel like dinosaurs were real, especially towards the end, where at the end of Jurassic Park, where the dinosaurs start to break out. Same thing happens at the end of this ride, where you're going through like the facilities and the red lights are flashing and the dinosaurs are screaming at you and falling out of ceiling vents and shit. Something similar like could be done in all the different like different sections, could be different regions with that hold different Pokemon or something along those lines. I think Pokemon Snap, especially with it right on the horizon here, it'd be a great opportunity to utilize something like this Jurassic Park ride as a theme park ride, but with Pokemon.
So I gotta say, when you were in the middle of pitching it, I was like, okay, I like that it's Pokemon themed. However, you know, one of the main joys that I derive from the Pokemon games is being able to catch the little monsters. And if there's not some sort of catching functionality in this ride, I'm going to be disappointed. You bringing up the Pokemon Snap angle of it, I think definitely redeemed it. And it's like one of those things where it's like, realistically, you're not going to be able to actually catch any of the Pokemon that are, you know, statically performing their actions ad infinitum along this ride. So being able to take pictures of them makes a lot more sense.
You are capturing pictures of them,
exactly.
Which makes sense as well. And you know what? At the end of the ride, you can take some of those pictures home with you. Why not?
I can't believe I'm saying this. I loved your Persona pitch, Nathan. However, based on the last minute twist of you're taking pictures of these Pokemon along this ride, I think I'm going to put AJ's suggestion at the number 2 spot.
Okay.
Damn.
What is the name of the ride?
Let's just you know what? Why change a good thing? You know, it's already perfect. Pokemon Snap: the ride.
All right, I like it. Okay, for our audio-only listeners, the current list of attractions looks like as follows. At the number 1 spot, we have Alex O'Neill's Destiny Adventure: Saving Soul with 5 points. At the number 2 spot, we have Pokemon Snap: The Ride by AJ Fraser with 3 points. The number 3 spot, we have Persona E-Riders by Nathan with 2 points. The number 4 spot, we have Alex Balance Warthog Run with 2 points. At the number 5 spot, we have Mitch's Fortnite Glider Flight with 2 points. At the number 6 spot, we have Minecraft World by AJ Fraser with 1 point. Number 7, we have The Master Sword's Quest by Alex O'Neill with 1 point. 8, we have Alex's World of Assassination with 1 point. 9, we have Mitch's Resident Evil Escape Raccoon City with 1 point. And at number 10, we have Nathan's Uncharted Fight for Fortune, #The Vita Lives. That means that in total right now, Alex O'Neill has a total of 6 points, AJ has a total of 4 points, and Nathan, Alex Valiant, and Mitch each have 3 points respectively. I looked over at AJ's webcam, and once again, I saw the other Alex lifting up his hand, and I very nearly got fooled. Very nearly, but thankfully, I didn't call it out that time. All right, we're now into round 2 of this here topic of the show. This section of the topic of the show is going to go by a little bit faster. Here's what is going to happen. As we all know, attractions, roller coasters, escape rooms, all that good stuff are the heart and soul of any theme park. But obviously, theme parks need a lot more than just those things to thrive. Theme parks need things like theme hotels that are tied to the theme park, that are part of the all-inclusive package when you go to said theme park. They need concession stands. They need theme restaurants, gift shops, transportation rides to get quickly around the theme park. The theme park's equivalent of something like, say, a hidden Mickey that you can find by looking really closely around the park. They need live theater performances, parades, closing ceremonies, and special event days where the theme park is changed in ways that are subtle and not so subtle. And that is what y'all are going to be pitching me on this time around. I'm going to be providing you with what specific aspect of the theme park infrastructure you're going to be pitching me on. And in addition, I am going to have each of you pick from a random number, and based on that, I'm going to provide you with what video game you are going to be theming it around. The way we are going to do it is we're going to.
I actually had some good ideas for this stuff, and you're going to give me.
There may
What you
be,
get, Mitch?
there may be an opportunity for you to choose your own video game franchise depending on how things work out a little bit later, Mitch.
Okay.
But you might want to cross your fingers on that because a few different things.
Crossing everything, baby.
Yeah. The way that this is going to work is we're going to do it in the order of the point rankings. So Alex O'Neill is going to go first, AJ is going to go second, Nathan third, Alex fourth, Mitch fifth. And in addition, I'm actually going to have everybody select and be informed of their video game franchise they're going to be using right up front. So people who are at the back of the pack, like Alex, Mitch, and Nathan, you guys will have a little bit more time to marinate in your heads what your pitch is going to be. Sounds fair?
Yep.
All right. Okay, Alex O'Neill, I want you to pick a number between 1 and 24.
21.
All right. Alex O'Neill, you are going to be making a theme hotel that's tied into the theme park that is themed around Wii music.
Oh man. Okay, every room just has that dude with the drums in it.
Wait. Hold on. I have to go through everybody else first, so that just take the next 30 seconds to ruminate. AJ, pick a number between 1 and 23. AJ?
I think your mic's muted.
I think he's asking his
sorry.
Google which one to do.
No, I'm going to choose number 11.
Number 11. Okay, you have to pitch me a concession stand themed around Shadow of the Colossus. Nathan, pick a number between 1 and 22.
Let's go with 18.
18. You have to pitch me a theme restaurant themed around the Raving Rabids. Alex Ballant.
Yes.
Tell me a number between 1 and 21.
I will choose 7.
7. Okay. You have to pitch me a gift shop themed around Bejeweled. And finally, last but not least, Mitch, pick me a number between 1 and 20.
Whichever number is next to Kingdom Hearts.
Okay, so there are 2 numbers next to Kingdom Hearts. Do you want to choose one above it or below it?
What do you mean? No, I want the one that corresponds to me pitching Kingdom Hearts.
No,
Not
don't
what you
do that.
said.
We didn't get to
That's not what you
pick.
said.
Give him a random one.
I'll take 4.
Okay, you could have very easily chosen Kingdom Hearts because you're only like a few numbers off. You have
Just say Kingdom Hearts then.
All right, fine.
I haven't talked about it enough.
Mitch, you have to pitch me a transportation ride based around Kingdom Hearts. So, just to be clear, by transportation ride, I mean, like, for example, the monorail or the railroad that you use to
I've already got it
around the park.
I already know it.
Cool. All right,
Functional.
Alex
functional
O'Neill.
ride, got it. Yeah.
Pitch to me your Wii Music themed theme hotel.
All right, it's the guy from the E3 presentation just in every room, just going ham on those drums. No, I feel like this hotel already exists. And it's the one, it's like the really boring one at Disney World. It's the, Music Radio Disney Hotel or whatever. And it's just
one
like
of the value hotels. Let me find it, but you continue.
Yeah, it's a value. I've stayed there before. That's how I know. It's just, like different floors are themed after different
All-Star
instruments.
Music.
All-Star Music, yeah. In that one, it's like, different genres. Like, here's the rock and roll, quarter of the hotel. Instead, it's like kind of different musical instruments in my mind. So it's like brass, so trumpet, trumpet, trombone, tuba. And then you've got your reed instruments floor, your string floor. And you get like very, very Nintendo style, hypnotic, mind melting, stuck in your brain forever kind of elevator style music on every floor in the hallways.
It's the eShop channel music
basically it's
channel music everywhere.
It's not that exactly, but it's that exact vibe, and it's just like I think my brain is both turning into butter, but also I kind of love it. It's that vibe every floor.
All right, I'm gonna
It's
call
very
this
chill.
one. I'm gonna call this one the mind-melting Wii Music Hotel. Sounds good.
Absolutely, that sounds perfect.
All right. Okay. AJ, you're up.
Hi. Okay, so I have to make a concession stand based around Shadow of the Colossus. So my first thought was a little bit bigger than a concession stand, but let me talk through it for a brief sec. Imagine the body of a slain Colossus, and inside this body is a restaurant. Now,
Okay.
we just need a concession stand here. So let's just take the head of a slain Colossus, and this is the outer theme of it, right? And you can have some fancy bushes and trees and maybe like some grass and stuff around it, similar to the landscape of the world of Shadow of the Colossus. But at the concession stand, I do know that there are lizards and there are fruits and stuff you can kind of collect at in the game or something like that. And they like increase your health and stamina and whatnot, along with defeating colossi. But they could be, serving, some sort of shish kebab and calling it lizard on a stick or something. And they could also serve fruit juices and other various fruit salads or fruits at this concession stand for you to walk around the park and get the nourishment you require.
I gotta say, when I gave you Shadow of the Colossus as the thing that you had to theme your concession stand around, I was concerned that you were gonna have difficulty coming up with a basic concept of it, but I really like the idea that you're inside of a defeated Colossus head, and I had completely forgotten that, yeah, there are lizards all over the map of Shadow of the Colossus's world, and so, yeah, that's a great idea to eat some straight up lizard meat in this here theme park, so I think that I'm going to have to put yours at number 1. Do you have a name for the concession stand? Or do you want me to give you one?
You can give me one.
All right. Colossal. I always, for whatever reason, I always think that there are 2 L's at the beginning of colossal. A colossal lizard.
Colossal treats.
Treats. There we go. That's good. Okay. Nathan, you're up.
Okay.
And just want to say, going forward, just because we have been running quite a bit long, I'd like it if we kept each of our subsequent pitches to under a minute. Don't worry, you're not going to be penalized for not going as long as we've gone in the past. It's just sort of the order of things at this point.
Okay. Can I go now?
Yeah, of course.
Okay, good. So I'm going to get rid of a lot of the pomp and circumstance. I'm going to introduce you to your new restaurant that's going to sweep the park called Rabid Dash.
Oh.
So it's a medieval time style restaurant which features a stage show featuring those rabbits. Kids really love the rabbits. My Three Boys. There's a television show on Netflix and they love watching that rabbit show. So it entertains you while you eat. At the same time, all of the menu items are featured as rabbits. And not only in the stage show do you have rabbits, and we are employing little people to play these so that we are staffing, hiring little people. But we are also, they're going to interact with the crowd and run around and do annoying things that rabbits would do that would entertain kids and annoy parents, which I feel like any good amusement park would do. So you get a good food at a good price with a show. And I think it's a surefire bane of an idea, Rabid Dash.
Okay, I gotta say, I'm really happy that in this hypothetical restaurant, you're not having the rabbits directly interact with the humans, because I feel like that would be a recipe for a disaster. Of course, humans are still going to be plenty annoyed in the restaurant, but no physical harm will come to them, so that's real good. I appreciate the medieval times angle to this. I'm going to put this one at number 1. I know that I've been awarding a lot of number 1 spots here, but these are all banger ideas. All right, Alex. Pitch to me your pitch.
All right, so a bejeweled themed gift shop. Well, there's a few things that, make a gift shop worth going to. Usually there's t-shirts, stuff, things, and like novelty, like candy snack type stuff. And so You need bejeweled clothing. Well, I'm a big fan personally of sort of the minimalist style clothing where you get like it's a shirt and it'll have like a symbol of something. It's recognizable if you know it, but it's not overtly this is a shirt for this thing. That's my favorite style of clothing. So you could do a whole line having one type of like a shirt that has like a little like one of the jewels from Bejeweled on like the little corner. You could do it having them like have the different jewels down the sleeve. You could maybe have it be like you could buy like a match 3 one, or like you can have it be like they're all like the same one, so it's like kind of thematic to the game where it's like, you know, that's how you get points in Bejeweled. So that's my idea for clothing. For stuffed plushy type stuff, obviously have one for each of the jewels. It would be great, and it would, you know, kind of as well really push people to try and get them all, or maybe only get the blue diamond and like get like 3 of them, so you can kind of be like fun and be like, look, I matched them. Keychains, same thing. You can really merchandise the hell out of this because they're jewels, so it's real easy. And then also one thing that I think could be really cool is you have, you know, the candy type stuff. Each of them could be a different, like have a different sort of flavor to it. And also you can, you know, you can gamify the gift shop as well. Go what's up?
Well, I'm just, you gotta, sounds
You're out of time.
You're out of time.
Okay, you can gamify the gift shop in any way and make people match 3 for the things that they want.
See, I feel like you should have led with the gamifying aspect of the gift shop. All the stuff that you pitched as to what we can buy sounds cool, but I feel like as it stands, this one is going to have to go at number 4. Do you have a name for this specific gift shop?
Match 3.
All right, great. All right, Mitch. It's Kingdom Hearts.
All right. What you've got is you've got the train, you've got the people mover at Magic Kingdom at Disney World. What can really use a people mover is Disney's Hollywood Studios, the park where they've added Toy Story Land and Star Wars Land, and they've got all these themed areas. You know what goes really well with themed areas? Goddamn Kingdom Hearts, smack dab in the middle of everything Disney. You've got that banger of a soundtrack that will play throughout the people moving attraction. It's going to be an elevated attraction. It's going to all be themed after the gummy ships in the Kingdom Hearts series, because that only makes sense. And you'll have themed stations at each of the places where you can embark or disembark. So for the station you've got in Star Wars Land, it's themed after Star Wars, and Toy Story Land similarly near Fantasia and the Tower of Terror ride. They're themed after those kind of attractions. But the main station, the main hub, is going to be smack dab in the middle of the park, right behind an attraction that will be rethemed to include Kingdom Hearts, because it only makes sense that you would cast a live action actors to join the Frozen sing-along adventure in their roles as Sora, Goofy, and Donald, doing literally nothing while the plot of Frozen just happens in this stage play. And that's where your main hub is going to be for this attraction.
Okay.
Calling it Kingdom Hearts Gummy Ship Flight.
10 out of 10.
I appreciate you got that under 1 minute. Can you just reiterate at the beginning, what exactly are you riding around in again? Is it a monorail?
Gummy ship. It's like the people mover, so it's like an elevated tram, basically.
I will say, I do think that, while not the best part of those games, I do think that the gummy ships are an underrated aspect of the Kingdom Hearts series.
The best part of the games, though, is the soundtrack, and you've got the soundtrack playing throughout the attraction. That's a good point.
I'm going to put this one at number 2.
Are you kidding me?
It's at number 2, man. What do we call this one?
This is trash. Kingdom Hearts Gummy Ship Flight.
All right. Good name. Good name.
I thought so.
Okay. We're going to go around the room again and pick some new video game franchises. But this time around, we are going to do it in a slightly different order based on the new rankings. Alex O'Neill, you were going to go first, as usual. Nathan, you were going to go second. AJ, you were going to go third. Mitch, you were going to go fourth. And Alex, you are going to go fifth. Okay. Alex O'Neill, pick a number between 1 and 19.
14.
14. Okay. You are going to pitch me a theme park equivalent of a hidden Mickey, so some sort of like hidden object that you have to find around the park that's hidden in all sorts of various different ways and forms, that's themed around Cuphead. Nathan,
Oof.
pick a number between 1 and 18.
Let's go 18 again.
All right. God. You have to pitch me a live theater performance based around Emily is Away.
What an iconic video game to have an attraction for.
All right.
Topical.
AJ, pick a number between 1 and 17.
2.
2. All right. You have to.
Oh no.
No, hold on. This one's actually going to be relatively easy compared to some of the other ones thus far. You have to pitch me a parade based around Frogger. All right.
Frogger Parade.
Mitch, pick a number between 1 and 17.
Since I forced you to give me Kingdom Hearts, since I forced you to give me Kingdom Hearts, you pick the number, Cozy.
Give him the worst one. Do it. Give him the worst one.
All right. Give me a second.
Yeah.
Fun fact, if you can't stop laughing, you just bite your tongue for a few seconds. All right.
Sounds terrible.
You have to pitch me a closing ceremony.
Ceremony, then great.
It's Naked Punch Out, isn't it?
No.
If it is, I'm walking away. Make it an actual game, please.
Based around your...
It also has to be a game I know.
Can you type
What
it
the
and
hell
then
is it?
I'll say it?
Sure.
Want me to give
Why
you a
not?
number then? God damn it.
All right. Based around Euro Truck Simulator. There, I said it. That took incredible force of will to get out of me without laughing. But you forced me into this corner, Mitch. It's yourself who wrought your own destruction. You have nobody else to
You
blame.
say destruction. This is going to be interesting. Don't worry.
All right, Alex, because you're in 5th place at the moment, you get to choose to create a special event day based around a franchise of your choosing. Sounds good?
Ooh, sure. Can
All
I
right.
can I have a couple minutes to think about the franchise?
Well,
or
I
do
mean,
want
you
to know it
have
right now.
You can think over the course of me listening to everybody else's pitches. So
Sounds good.
all right,
And what was it again? Sorry.
a special event day. So like, you know how
Special
Disney
event.
will have like, all right, hey, it's Halloween day. It's, you know, our special Christmas ho 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 Santa event day, like something like that.
Got it.
All right,
Cool.
Alex O'Neill. Go for
Hello.
it. Tell me about your theme park equivalent of the Hidden Mickey.
I love Hidden Mickeys also. Shout out to Hidden Mickeys. This one's a little bit more interactable. I like just hidden cups and mugs. And some are throughout attraction rides. One obviously has a red straw, one has a blue straw. Very easy to see. But the ones that are like interactable, so they're like throughout the park, they have like little saucers on them. And you just like turn it on the saucer and it'll play the Barbershop Quartet song from the game. That's like a little hidden Easter egg in it where it's the Barbershop Quartet singing the Take a Break song. And I think that would be fun.
I like it. You know, you previously pitched the Wii Music Hotel, which had its own musical theme to it. I like this one a little bit more because unlike the Wii Music Hotel one, you're going to be hearing that music all the time. This time it's only going to be occasional. So I'm going to put it at number 4 above Wii Music Hotel. I feel like you can't really come up with a name.
There's no real name for it. Yeah. Hidden cups, hidden mugs. I think is just what you're looking for.
That's a good name. All right. Nathan, go for it.
Okay, so I think I've worked myself up a winner here.
Okay.
But number 1, the name is going to be Emily is Here.
Ooh.
And this is a live show about Emily and her messages. It's a one-woman show featuring improv and audience participation. There's an app that links to the show, and you can help as the audience choose what the next thing that Emily does during the show. And then the actress playing Emily will then continue on based upon the path that you've selected as the audience, kind of making each show unique, driving people to come back to the show regularly. At the same time, we have a residence where we continually change who plays Emily, and we bring in famous celebrities, including Angelina Jolie, Jennifer Lawrence, Julia Roberts, Scarlett Johansson, and Nicole Kidman as Emily. So creating that star power and bringing people to it. So Emily is Here. I think it's a brilliant idea. And I think this is, as it constantly changes and evolves, and every show will be different with constant change in celebrities, will be a bane, will make a lot of money for the park.
All right, we have a new number one for the infrastructure section.
I can't wait to hear the online forum. I don't know, man. The Kidman years were really overrated, but I really like the Lawrence days for the Emily show.
Okay, AJ, you're up.
All right. Okay, so the concept of Frogger is generally inconvenient, right? It's a frog trying to hop its way across the street and not get crushed by cars. So why not at the entrance to the theme park, we have on the long pathway leading up to the main grounds, just at a specific time, just a bunch of people dressed in frog costumes jumping across the other way through the crowd, trying not to get hit by the people walking. And that is your Frogger-based parade.
If people aren't able to jump out of the way in time, do they get like really badly hurt?
They die.
Whoa.
I was going to say,
Yeah, you have to sign a waiver entering the park.
Yeah, they die for real.
I was going to say maybe they get a prize or something if they successfully kill Frogger.
Oh, Jesus.
If you die in the park, you die for real.
Or they jump the line for a vaccine or something.
Yeah, or something like that.
I mean,
power up.
It's certainly an exciting sounding
parade. It's a unique twist on a parade. That's for sure.
See, here's the thing. I feel like I can't put it above something like Kingdom Hearts Gummy Ship Flight, because I feel like I'm the kind of guy that if I see people get really badly injured in front of me, I tend to bristle up more than I tend to go, yeah. And something like Kingdom Hearts Ship Flight,
I would hope so,
is going to be, a lot more relaxing by comparison. So I'm going to put it at number 4.
Sure.
Oh, do we have a name for this parade?
Yeah. Froggerade.
Froggerade.
I will say, AJ,
like Gatorade, but with frogs.
As someone who hates parades, this might actually get me to go to one.
Oh, hell yeah. That's the spirit.
Finally,
an endorsement
stakes.
Already, and we haven't even invented it yet.
Some real stakes.
All right.
That might put it above Kingdom Hearts.
Mitch, go for it.
So we're going to call this show World of Trucks. And what it's going to be, a big staple of the Euro Truck Simulator series, is introducing new regional content. So you're going to basically have a cavalcade of trucks from around the world who are all using their horns to play songs which are themed regionally based on the different region they're representing. So you get some truck from, I don't know, Italy, and it's playing some Italy thing like something. Yeah. It's going to be accompanied by fireworks and projections, all in time with these songs that the trucks are playing on their horns. Not only is it a closing ceremony show, but it's also a bit of a parade as these trucks come in and out of the scenes, right? And eventually you get them all come in and you get these really this crescendo to some really like uplifting theme of unity and togetherness, of global connectivity, with a huge fireworks display, and it's going to be brilliant. World of Trucks coming to a theme park near you, never, because this is a stupid fucking idea that Cozy made me do, but I think I pulled it off.
It's a stupid idea, but I agree that was way better of a pitch than I was expecting. Here's the thing.
Goddamn right it was.
You can't beat the celebrity star power of Emily is Here, but I think that I can comfortably put it at number 2. All right.
You put this above goddamn Kingdom Hearts. What is wrong with you?
I like that you're never happy either way.
I'm never happy when it comes to this game unless I'm hosting it and ruining everyone else's day.
Alex, you have to pitch us your special event day around a video game franchise of your choosing.
Okay, so the hypothetical is that this is specifically a Legend of Zelda theme park. And so my special event day would be over the month of October. The blood moon has dawned, and you have a red cast and it only takes place during night, so that you can kind of like really build up the atmosphere. And you have like these red lights that are kind of like shining all throughout the park, so it kind of gives this red glow to everything. And there's this ominous music that kind of plays, and just everything is kind of themed around the idea that like, you know, that you're kind of in danger at all times, that like the monsters, they're going ballistic, just like everything, and you know, people are at uneased, and that's what I got.
All right.
So it's kind of a Halloween party for like a Nintendo world.
Yeah,
I think they
like
should actually do this.
Yeah, like if there was like
I think Majora's Mask would have worked better over a 3-day weekend. Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Think about it.
That could be cool.
Yeah, but if you stretch it out over the month and you make more opportunities to make money, Disney's Halloween lasts from September to August to October. I think Universal Studios is similar. Their Christmas season is like October to December. They got to make the money, so it makes sense to try to stretch it out.
As Mitch stated, like this is the kind of thing that like you could conceivably imagine Nintendo itself doing at one of its own theme parks in the future. I will say I was kind of hoping for just a little bit more detail in terms of like how the blood moon would change the world of the theme park, aside from making it a little bit spookier.
Yeah. I just literally don't remember what actually happens when the blood moon
all the monsters come back.
Yeah, the monsters respawn.
However, because it seems like nobody is in any danger of dying, I am going to put it above Frog Raid at number 5.
I'll take it.
You should have just done the year of Luigi, but nothing is different. They just say it's the year of Luigi for a whole year, and nothing is actually different.
That's not true. There were any of their Luigi anniversaries. Except
they're two. I know, but the whole point is that it's just the same.
In terms of all of our bits of infrastructure in the Ultimate Video Game theme park that we're building, at number 1, we have Emily is Here, the live show by Nathan, which is worth 5 points. We have Mitch's World of Trucks closing ceremony with 3 points.
Sunday.
We have Nathan's Rabbit Dash, rabbit-themed theme restaurant with 3 points. We have Mitch's Kingdom Hearts Gummy Ship Flight at 2 points, which is his, what you want to call it? Like your transportation.
It's your People Mover equivalent, and everyone loved the People Mover.
People Mover is honestly a much better name, much better way to describe it. At number 5, we have Alex's Blood Moon event with 2 points. At number 6, we have AJ's Murderous Frog Raid with 1 point. At number 7, we have AJ's Colossal Lizard Treats at 1 point, which is his Shadow of the Colossus themed concession stand. At number 8, we have Alex O'Neill's Hidden Cups, which is his Cuphead themed version of Hidden Mickeys with 1 point. At number 9, we have Alex O'Neill's Mind Melting Wii Music Hotel with 1 point. And at number 10, we have Alex Balance Match 3, which is his Bejeweled themed shop. It's been a long podcast, guys.
You're too distracted by World of Trucks. I get it.
I wanted to throw out there
a
for
significant moment on this podcast, which is worth 1 point. All right.
Yeah.
The points currently stand as follows. Alex O'Neill has 8 points. AJ has 6 points. Nathan has 11 points. Alex Ballant has 6 points. And Mitch has 8 points. We have one final round. We are only going around the room one last time, and it is to do as follows. So, as we all know, theme parks by themselves, with all of their various attractions and cool bits of infrastructure in them, are quite great. But everybody knows that your theme park has only truly made it when you make movies based off of the attractions at your theme park. Look at Disney. They have a Pirates of the Caribbean movie, a Mission to Mars movie, a Tomorrowland movie. Mind you, only one of those movies actually became culturally
relevant. Let's not talk about Tomorrowland.
And proved itself a financial success. But the point stands, if we want this theme park to truly stand out above all others, we need to pitch some movies based on the attractions and infrastructure created at the theme park. Now, here's how this is going to work. You are not going to be pitching a movie based on something that you yourself pitched. You're going to be pitching a movie based on something that someone else pitched. If I think that your pitch is good, I will make you the original creator of said attraction, and in doing so, you will steal the original pitcher's points. So, for example, I could say, hey, Alex Bound, pitch me something, and you're like, okay, let me pitch you a movie based on Pokemon Snap the Ride, and you will get at AJ's 3 points that he earned for that one. Clear as mud?
Yep.
All right. We are going to start best to worst like last time. Nathan, pitch me somebody else's theme park / infrastructure movie.
Can we get a zoom in of the list so I can see it?
There's a link in the...
There's a link in the
Yes.
podcast chat.
Did I miss the link?
Yes.
I can repost it if you need me to.
No, I don't see it in the doc.
No, not in the doc.
Oh.
In the Discord.
In the Discord?
Podcast chat channel.
Here it is. Somehow I missed it and I was looking at his screen
Not
the
a
entire
problem.
time. Okay, this is a lot nicer.
Hell yeah.
Okay. So I can't choose my own. You know what? Let's do this. Let's have a World of Trucks movie.
All right.
God, fuck.
We're gonna base it similar to the Fast and the Furious franchise.
You stole
but
my
with
fucking
trucks.
shit. Fuck.
So essentially, we're going to have several cast members. We're going to do a lot of celebrity stunt casting and maybe even bring a crossover from the Fast and the Furious movie in. But essentially, this is going to be a truck heist movie where they are in constantly elevating circumstances in the competition that they do to get these trucks and the situations that they find with that will eventually end them with the franchise ending with World of Trucks 10 with them in space, with space trucks as the franchise evolves. We're not just talking one movie here. We're talking about a multi-layered franchise that will have spin-offs at the same time.
And ultimately, it's about family.
It's always about family.
Always.
Here's the thing. As it stands, in this hypothetical universe that you're pitching this movie, Fast and the Furious already exists. And so I'm listening to your pitch and I'm like, I don't really know kind of what it is about this franchise that sets it apart from the Fast and Furious. Now, mind you, we've had a lot of Fast and the Furious ripoff movies over the years, but I feel like in good conscience, I have to have Mitch remain the sole creator and proprietor of World of Tanks. Mitch,
What?
You can pat yourself on the back for that.
Such a good pitch.
It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. I didn't think it was terrible. I was looking for something a little bit more that would set it kind of a little bit above the grain and a little bit more unique from Fast and the Furious. That's all.
What if I told you there was a love story
I mean,
between the
love
trucks?
between two tanks or two trucks?
No, two of the trucks are Transformers, but they're from different families. And because they're from different families that are warring similar to Romeo and Juliet.
Transformers movie now?
all right. I would still watch this movie, but I don't think I'm going to be the person that funds it. Okay. The order that we're going to go for the remaining 4 people, it's going to be Alex O'Neill, Mitch, AJ, and then Alex Ballant. Alex O'Neill.
Yes.
What movie are you going to pitch?
You know I'm making that Emily is Away movie. I have to.
God damn it!
And here it's going to star Julianne Moore, who is like weirdly one of the other names I was thinking for the Emily is Away one woman show. I don't know why she would go with that bevy of actresses, but in my head. So this is an older Emily in a post chat room era. So it takes place like, let's say modern era, like 2025. And it's her dealing with the kind of psychological regression of not being able to communicate because she communicated mostly through chat rooms when she was a teenager, and her finding the protagonist from Emily's Away all these years later and reconciling that.
So,
and I just want Kyle Seeley to write this movie because he deserves it.
Okay. So just to be clear, basically it is Emily from the Emily is Here stage show meeting up and interacting with the Emily from the video game.
Yes.
I really like that idea.
And it's this kind of like cross-generational meeting in the middle idea of like the kind of problems with the meeting people in chat rooms and the ideas and concepts behind Emily is Away, but like brought into like a more character study drama.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sorry, Nathan.
Bullshit. Bullshit.
That Alex O'Neill is going to be taking over your Emily is Here spot for the time being. Mind you, anybody else can attempt to pitch their own Emily is Here.
Wait, so I just lose the point and I don't get any points back?
No,
Correct.
you got nothing.
That's really bullshit.
Yeah, but it's game. Let him do what he wants.
All right, Mitch.
He's just loving this right now because he's.
So I'm going to pitch my Emily is Away movie now and fuck over Alex because I had this idea first. God damn it! And what this is going to be is over the last few years, Netflix specifically is who's producing this film, written by Kyle Seeley, of course. They've delved into the realm of interactive media.
Well, this was my idea.
They've got a Minecraft series. They had that Black Mirror episode where you got to choose your own path. Sorry?
Bandersnatch.
Bandersnatch. Yes, thank you. What this is going to be is not a one-to-one recreation of the original game or any of the games. You can kind of pick which era you want to live in. I think modern makes sense with it being Netflix. It can be self-referential. And it can be something akin to, I don't know, Instagram or TikTok or something like that is the platform you're interacting on. But it is a user-driven experience where you are interacting with this thing. Similarly, I don't know if you ever saw the film Searching, starring what's his name? From Harold and Kumar, the John something.
Yeah, John Cho.
Thanks, everybody.
John Cho.
John Cho. Yes, thank you.
Sulu.
Where we saw him interacting with his daughter's computer and phone and everything to try to figure out what had happened to her. And it's going to be similar to that, where you're going to have actors portraying these roles and you're kind of seeing their experiences through the screen and how they're interacting with their screen specifically. It's going to just be you're watching the interface. They've got like their FaceTime camera open while they're doing Instagram or something on their computer. And you're making all these decisions as you go through as a young man trying to, court an older Emily, because we're going to be, kind of post where that series has been. And I think you call it Emily Comes Home since it's home media, and that's your film.
I like it a lot. Can you take 15 seconds, Mitch, to just pitch me on the plot? Because I got a lot of the mechanics of how this is going to work, but not a lot of what it's actually about.
It's going to delve into a lot of the same ideas of the Emily is Away series of heartbreak and young love and trying to find love in a world that is very much behind a screen as opposed to person-to-person interactions and the dangers of using social media the way you can. So it'll delve into themes of addiction and like social media burnout and those kind of things, the depression that can be caused by using too much social media. All these kind of things kind of coming together as this interactive piece of media through Netflix.
So here's the problem. I really like Mitch. Hold on.
When he says it, I already know what he's going to do.
I really like your concept of it being this interactive Netflix thing. I also really liked O'Neill's idea of it being Emily from the live show meeting up with Emily from the video game. But like, it really is sort of like an equal 50-50 thing for me.
Can we split it?
So you know what?
Yes, split it.
I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to split it. I'm going to convert the Emily is Here thing to 2.5 points, and I'm going to bump up Mitch's World of Trucks point value to 5.5. So now Mitch and O'Neill are neck and neck with 10.5 points.
Oh my god.
Okay.
I love it.
Go on. High five.
AJ.
Virtual high five.
Yeah,
Hi.
steal my ideas.
Pitch
Well,
me your movie.
I don't think anything that I do is going to get me up into the lead, so I may as well just have pitch something that I would find.
If you either try to take on World of Trucks or Destiny Adventure Saving Soul, you could theoretically go in the lead.
Theoretically. I don't think I have an idea good enough to do either of those.
Okay.
However, so I just need to go from the heart here, and I really want to see the documentary on the guy from the Wii Music Drums. What's he up to now? What happened after? What was his struggle?
I need to know.
I need to know.
The truth is out there.
It's somewhere. What is he doing? Is he okay? That is the most important thing we need to know right now. And it has to happen.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, AJ Fraser just obtained Alex O'Neill's mind-melting Wii Music Hotel movie pitch. All right.
Takes me out of the lead, though, so you could think of that as a more strategic play. So I appreciate that.
I suppose so.
Way to ruin our guest's evening.
Alex.
Yeah, I'm never coming back.
Alex Ballant.
And this is
I wouldn't blame you.
All right. So I am going to be going after the Destiny Adventures, turning that into a movie. Ooh. And essentially, it's going to be quite like, I would say, Guardians of the Galaxy. Because you could take, what my idea would be is, how did Zavala, Cade, and Ikora, how did they all come together and become a fire team? So you kind of bring in all of these kind of like these ragtag characters. They're all, Zavala is, I don't remember what his species is. And then you have a human, you have the robot, and it's just like how they came together. You could include elements of the Destiny lore, like maybe it could be something like the first time they fought the Vex, or one of the type of main enemies, or what are the Covenant type, the ones that like the technology, the Fallen? No.
The Fallen.
Okay, yeah. It would probably be the Fallen, actually, because I believe that is like one of like the main antagonists that you fight, like on Earth especially, and can be like how the Guardians became, how they got their power, how they got their light. Things like, there's so much you can really do, and to build up a Destiny movie franchise would be really cool. And I think that this would be a really great starting point. And then you can have sequels. You can then kind of, you could then take like stories directly from the game. And so it would tie into the ride, because I remember Alex O'Neill specifically said that Zavala, Ikora, and Cade would be like leading you through this. And so it'd be like, it would take those characters from the ride and bring it to the screen.
I would love this movie. I'm just going to throw my 2 cents out there. Please make a Destiny movie.
Oh, God.
Much like Nathan's World of Trucks movie pitch, I like it. My problem is that, again, I just feel like it's lacking that X factor that Mitch and O'Neill's and AJ's pitches had, where it's, what's the old adage? Like, there are no kind of true original ideas anymore, but you can, still give things twists, and I feel like they were able to give sufficient twists to their pitches. I would still 100% see this movie as well, Alex, but I think that I'm not quite so convinced yet to give it my full $50 million approval.
I just want to add one thing here. Video game movies historically have sucked. Mortal Kombat comes out this week. Please don't suck, and if it doesn't suck, please support it so we get more non-sucky video game movies. 100%. Where's Detective Pikachu 2? God damn it!
It's coming. Yes. It's coming. They need to figure out how to turn what's his face back into Pikachu again. Spoilers.
Yeah, because that was the best part.
Yeah. Does Hamilton have anything to say to object before we close out the episode?
It's been too long since I've seen it, so insert witty quote here from the show.
Right. He says, "Shoot your shot."
Yeah.
With that,
shoot your shot.
Our ultimate video game theme park creation topic of the show comes to a close, and the winner, despite complaining fervently throughout the entire period, is none other
than
every
time
George.
Bullshit.
Now I do have one.
Yes.
One note that might be relevant, a little bit of a bummer. Turns out DJ Rabbit Drums, who is the DJ guy from Wii Music, is a big Trump head. So maybe we don't want to know.
Well, you know what? The documentary could be on his fall from grace.
Yeah, it kind of makes it more interesting. You could argue.
Yeah, like how? What went? Where did it all go wrong?
Where did it go wrong?
Wii Music stage show at E3. That's where it went wrong.
Drove him
and
to
then
Trump
you just follow his dive into madness.
It's just so absurd. What a horrible thing that is, but it's so absurd. I had to share.
No, that's
oh well.
A great bummer note to end the show on.
Yeah.
In second place,
Congrats.
we have Alex O'Neill with 9.5 points. In third place, we have AJ with 7 points. And in fourth and fifth place tied, we have Nathan and Alex Ballant with 6 points respectively.
I was robbed.
Yep.
You made a really valiant effort, Nathan, to get this particular topic of the show under your belt, and you had a real great run there. But in the end, Alex O'Neill's Emily is Away pitch and Mitch's subsequent Emily is Away pitch were just too strong. I apologize.
But it all started with that one-man show, which was a great idea. Or one-woman show, I should say.
Spectacular idea.
Yeah, spectacular idea. Spectacular idea. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of Press YYZ. If you enjoyed what you just heard, be sure to share and subscribe to our YouTube channel, rate and review us on Apple Podcasts, and follow us on Twitch. You can also check out @Press YYZ on Twitter to stay up to date on when we go live, and join us on Discord at invite.gg/PressYYZ to keep the conversation going. Next week's topic of the show is going to be TBD. Over the past few weeks, we've been on a roll on being able to provide you all with a preview of what's to come next episode, but on account of all of our lives getting a little bit busier and more complicated as of late, on account of the pandemic and other things, such as Mitch recently having purchased his new home, we haven't been able to nail down what we're going to do on the 28th just yet, so please stay tuned with regards to what's to come. Before we sign off,
Excited.
Please be excited, of course. Before we sign off, Alex O'Neill, is there anything that you've been up to as of recent that you want to plug?
A couple of things. Every other week, Irrational Passions podcast is out on podcast services. There's a video version as well, but it's not edited. So if you're looking for your premium podcast experience, I would just listen to the audio version. There's a new episode of A Trip to Nintendo Land, a podcast I co-host, coming out probably when this is up, with Mike Townsrow from 61indie.com. And that was great. We talked a lot about Pokemon Snap there. So if you are a fan of Pokemon Snap, very excited for the new Pokemon Snap. And I think that's really it. There's viewpoints over on youtube.com/Irrational Passions, like video previews where we sit down and take a look at stuff. There's just probably 3 or 4 of those every week, so just check those out. That's what I'm doing a lot of, mostly.
All right. I'll be sure to provide links to all the various things that you just listed in the description for this podcast, both on podcast services and also on YouTube as well. So be sure to check all of those out. Until next time, this has been Press YYZ. Thank you for playing.
This is our longest episode ever. If you made it this far, thank you, and I'm sorry.
I have that effect on podcasts.
Take care, guys.
All right, you can cut your audio.
Yay.
All right.
Oh my God, that was awesome.